now, too. Olli Jokinen is a youngster who has been drafted by the Kings, number 3 overall, and he was very impressive in the preseason.
He's been compared to Jaromir Jagr. Mike Eves, who is the coach, assistant coach for the Penguins, was his coach last year in Helsinki in Finland. He knows him very well, and he said, I actually think he reminds me of Ron Francis, but either way, that's a couple of great players to be compared to. This is Donald McLean, Mike, and I know you've been talking about him. He did real well in the preseason, another young guy who should do some good things for the Kings this year.
He was a second-round draft choice a couple of years back, played at Hull, Memorial champion team, and he really played well for the Kings, and they're looking for this youth movement. They have a team now that averages 25 years of age. The goaltending matchup, well, Tom Barrasso will be on the net for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it'll be interesting to see how he comes back from the injuries that he had last year.
I think he's anxious to show what he can do. I think it's a big year for him, and he knows it, and I also believe, Mike, that he is almost has a chip on his shoulder just to prove, hey, I'm still a great goaltender in this league, and he isn't rated very high by the people in around hockey, but he has the ability, we've seen it, to really be a dominant goaltender in the league.
All right, that's the way it looks as the setup is. Let's go right now to Stan and Guy standing by.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. We spent so much time talking about the new players here and the new coach guy, but the concern that I would have, or the question I would have, are there enough of Kevin Constantine's type players here? Basically, even with the influx of newer players, they are still basically the nucleus that has been here for 3-4 years. Does he have the kind of players and enough of the kind of players who will play his system?
Well, I think a lot of guys are going to get a lot more ice time than they have in the past, and if they play his system and continue to get that ice time, they're going to be excited about it. And I think it's very important how this team starts this year, Stan, because for players to buy into what a coach is telling them, they have to have some success and have it early. This is a franchise that has been used to being near the top of the league for a long time. And regardless of what style they play, I think they have to play well to buy into a system.
Well, it is true that the team, what it looks like at the end of the season, will look very little like it does today. I think that is especially true of this Pittsburgh Penguin club. They'll look entirely different by the time the playoffs roll around. We are set for the drop of the puck for the opening game and the opening face-off of the season. Mike and Paul back with the call right after this.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 42. Jesse from Quality Control. Jesse travels the country. He spans the globe in search of the best quality parts for your car. Factory visits.
Alle Teile übertreffen die Spezifikationen des Herstellers.
Wunderbar. Product inspections on over 250,000 different parts and accessories.
Thank you.
No problem. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
So your mother says go to Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. So here I am.
Here you are. Severe weather paint. See, it'll resist peeling and mildew.
Oh, my mortgage is up?
That's right. It's guaranteed to take 15 years of wind, rain, you name it. Even
A tall ladder?
One coat's all you need, so you won't spend that much time on top.
This low price.
Why do you think we're called Lowe's? Now I can take on any project.
Yeah, will we ever finish one?
When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows.
Needs a little work. We've never really had that big of a house before. Bathtub. So there's going to be a lot going on my Discover card.
Fireplace?
I love just the idea of surrounding myself with all my friends and family and that people can just drop by.
Pool table.
Discover card cashback bonus award. It's like a gift that you can do whatever you want with and not even feel guilty. Come find my house.
It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Penguins hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Bud Ice, official beer sponsor of the NHL. Drink Bud Ice, but beware the Penguins. By Mellon Bank, it's where you're going. By Allegheny General Hospital, advancing the frontier of medicine. By Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows. And by the Discover Card, proud partner of the Smithsonian's 150th anniversary. And here we are at the refurbished Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. We don't have an official number as to the capacity right now of the arena. I don't think it'll be quite a sellout tonight, but there will be some number changes with the new seats we have. Let's look at the goaltender, Staggy.
There's Stefan Fiset. He's 27 years old, 13, 24, and 5 last year with a 3.30 goals against average. The Kings as a team allowed only 15 goals in the 7 games in the preseason. They played much better defensively, and Fiset played well in the games that he performed. And Tom Barrasso, who played only 5 games last year, lost all 5 of them, then underwent surgery for a rotator cuff back on January 3rd, went through extensive rehab, worked himself real hard to get back into shape, had a pretty good camp, and is really anxious to get rolling, and is in goal for the Pens.
Mark Possett will be the referee. Danny McCord and Mark Marie, a couple of veterans, work the lines, and we're underway in Pittsburgh, the opening game of the 97-98 season. Kevin Hatcher, number 4 for the Penguins, whips it up to center. Galley, second trip with the Kings, back with them now, defensively wearing number 3, and the puck is lifted to the Penguin zone. Hatcher retreating, guns it back in behind the net. Warenka playing on the left side of defense with Hatcher, an outlet pass intended for Francis, cut off by Rob Blake, and now the Kings just tapping inside the Penguin line, and the Penguins clear. Roman Popat working the left wing, and he's going to chase off here. Mogul is on the right, LaPerriere at center as the Kings make a change in the move. The Penguins gather the puck in, and they whip it up to their own blue line. Hatcher has to retrieve it one more time. Now Marty Straka tried to get a piece of it. Could not. The Kings control the Biska. And Nordstrom, the defenseman, swing it back into the far side of the Penguins in. With by Warenka to get it out up to center. Warenka was the MVP, or the best defenseman in the International Hockey League last year with Indianapolis. He has joined the Penguins defensive core. Andreas Johansson behind the net to Robbie Brown, trying to stuff it in on the first shot of the game, and Fiset makes the save for the Los Angeles Kings. Well, Robbie Brown, ever dangerous around that net, particularly with the great hands that he has, and you've got to be alert at all times because he can just poke it by you in a heartbeat.
Stefan Fiset said something to one of his defensemen there just to let him know to keep their eye on Robbie Brown as he does sneak out from behind that cage. Johansson with a good play to use the boards. And there was Brown. He really couldn't step out in front of Fiset there because he did feel the defenseman coming. And it was...
Well, Boucher covered him right there, but the attempted shot by Brown was actually blocked before it got to the net. Brown's last appearance in the National Hockey League was with the Los Angeles Kings. Played a couple of games for them 2 years ago.
He had been playing in Phoenix, and they called him up at the end of that season and played 2 games.
And if I'm not mistaken, he was leading the IHL in scoring when that happened, too. Outlet pass to center now. Jokinen, who wears number 21. You want to keep an eye on him. Here's Greg Johnson with speed for the Penguins into the Kings end. No score first period. Puck sails over to the far side. Tamer of the Pens guns it towards the net. Deflected. Loose puck. Fiset comes up with it, but a penalty will be issued here against the Kings for holding. There are no new rule changes or anything to tell you about for this year. Everything has stayed the same, but they will enforce the obstruction rules as we've been told by officials in the National Hockey League.
Gary Bettman actually begged the officials to call him more. He said, I'm begging you to do it. There's Boucher knocking down Eddie Olczyk, who played last year with the Kings, was acquired from them by the Penguins in exchange for Glenn Murray, who was in this game tonight. And Philippe Boucher, in his 6th year with the Kings already, acquired from the Buffalo Sabres in that deal that sent Grant Fuhrer from Buffalo to Los Angeles, and Alexei Zhitnik over to the Buffalo Sabres.
Is Zhitnik still a holdout?
Yes, he is. He's one of many in the league. A lot of big names holding out for more money.
Penguin power play, which was second last year in the NHL, sets up here for the first crack at it this season. And here's Jagr on the near side. Dumping to the near corner to Brown in front. Deflected in! The first goal scored by Kevin Hatcher, I believe. And the Penguins take an early 1-0 lead. Oh, never teach a pig to sing. Kevin Hatcher, I think, is the man that last touched it. And the Penguins get the early goal.
I think the Penguins power play has a chance to be even better than it was last year, and it was second in the league. And that even with Mario Lemieux gone, I think that's the case because they still have a lot of great skill on the power play. And I think actually at the end of last year we talked about it a lot. The Penguins power play got a little stale, and it was Hatcher who just did what he did a few times last year when they parked him in front on the power play. You may remember the Penguins used him in that position a few times. He jumped in there and got a stick on the puck as it came in front. He wasn't in the crease, and the Penguins have a 1-0 lead.
Well,
they are checking to see if he was. Maybe we ought to look at it again.
No, as you might expect, here we go again. We're going to take a look at the crease area to see if anybody was in the crease. I don't think that's the case. I think Hatcher will get the goal. We may have an overhead view also, but the Penguins score a power play goal if it counts. That goal's good. No, that's absolutely.
The problem I have with this whole rule is that there are got to be times when a referee just has to be able to see that it's obvious. I mean, that was obvious he wasn't in the crease. And this is what the problem is with the rule, is that a lot of times they're going upstairs for no reason at all. I mean, there are times when you just have to have a conviction that it wasn't even close.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting now is that because the referee is the center of it all, maybe he's the guy that's saying, well, I want to make sure so I don't get in trouble. Right. So now he's going over. But sometimes you do have to have the ability to say, I made the call. And they actually can look at it from up here and stop the play and reverse the play. I mean, they can negate the goal. Robbie Brown gets an assist for the Penguins along with Jaromir Jagr. The Penguins get the opening goal of the season, and it belongs to Kevin Hatcher on a deflection in front of Stefan Fisset. And the Kings now wheel it to the Penguins zone. Barrasso slides out, works the puck over. The shots on goal are not posted on the board. The Penguins, I think, have had a couple, but they're not up there right now. And Aki Berg defensively goes back to touch it for the Kings, and we have an icing play against the Penguins.
Well, Kevin Hatcher scored 9 power play goals last season, and he's already got one here in 97-98. He scored a total of 15 goals, so 9 of his 15 came with a man advantage. And he is such a force, and I think what Kevin Constantine wants to do is get him more involved around the net and have him kind of arrive there from different positions on the ice. One of the things that Hatcher did so well when he had his big years with the Washington Capitals was kind of appearing in an area where he could get a chance to shoot the puck from pretty close range and point-blank range on goaltenders. And it wasn't so much that you knew he was coming. Guys would be kind of caught by surprise because he would jump into the play as he did there.
Well, the Kings send Ferraro out here with Brad Smith and Don McLean. Penguins counter here with Francis Jagr. And Rozov working on the left wing. He tries to step into the Kings zone. Aki Berg got to the biscuit and flip it up the far side. Kings now settle in, and Brad Smith can't get it out. Still loose. Jagr with a great play to jump on that puck. Goes behind the net, trying to overpower one of the Kings' defensemen. Centered out wide. Goes off it just wide of Francis, all the way back down to the Penguins zone. Barrasso, one of the better passing goaltenders in all of hockey. Maybe the history of the game. Moves that puck quickly out. Francis trying to direct it up to the near side. Rozov has to leave the puck there and go off as it goes back to the Kings, and Glenn Murray, the former Penguin, swings it over to Garry Galley. They'll lead it up ahead are Luke Robitaille, also a former Penguin here, back with the Kings, involved in the trade for Kevin Stevens with the New York Rangers. Stevens now a member of the Gotham City crew. We'll see him this year, and of course in years ahead, you would imagine. The Penguins leaving the Northeast Division after this season and on to the Atlantic next year. Glenn Murray with good speed moves in. He's a 220-pounder. He's a big kid. Glenn Murray, Kasparaitis whacking away at him, takes the biscuit away. Straka's overpowered, and Robitaille runs into him. Kings, Joseph Snuffle lets Robitaille take it. The Kings cycling now and working hard. 1-0 Pittsburgh here in this first period. And Robbie Brown feels it out of danger, back to center. Galley again, snaps it right back in for the Kings. They took a hit on the far side, the rookie out of the Czech Republic. He has good speed. He has better size than he looks like. He's not real tall as compared to a lot of hockey players, but he's very stocky. Albert Dame, and really is in great physical shape. He was in tremendous shape, as are most of the Penguins. Probably as good a shape as we have seen in many years. We're in the first period. The Penguins here at home. The opener for both these clubs. Pittsburgh 1, the Kings 0.
Where's the coming, boss? We're coming. Don't obstruct them! Move it! Move the puck! I've never changed my mind. You got 2. You got 2. No! No! Oh! Yes, I don't know your name, but I'm going to tell you something. Tired of getting thrown out yet? If you keep holding the way you're holding, you're going to sit there for the rest of the game. Keep it going! Keep it going! You! Drop it! Get in there and shut up! Keep it going! Keep it going! That's all! That's all! Did you like that? Wasn't bad.
From September 7th through October 18th, it's turkey season at Giant Eagle. And someone seems very excited about turkey hunting.
Hey, turkey, 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 turkey.
Don't go to all this trouble. All you need to do is use your Giant Eagle Advantage card and spend $200 or more between September 7th and October 18th. Then we'll mail you a certificate for a free gobbler or use it for $10 off your Thanksgiving groceries. It's never been so easy to bag a turkey.
Well, the Penguins have a pretty good ticket deal for you here in the month of October. The Oktoberfest special. 3 games remaining as part of this deal. Florida, Montreal, and Carolina. And the deal is buy 3 sea-level tickets and receive the 4th for free. And you can call 412-642-PENS to order your Oktoberfest package.
You know, Staggy, I'd be given 3 games plus a beer. They'd have probably sold millions of them in the burg. Well, you can get a beer while you're here. 16:03 left first period. Told you the Kings were 6-1 in preseason play. The Penguins 4-4 to complete the 8-game schedule. Pittsburgh with the puck, and Eddie Olczyk rolls it ahead to center circle, cut off Nordstrom. Defensively, the former Ranger blue liner, Yuri Slager, a member of the Penguins, his first appearance ever at the Civic Arena in a regular season game. Seth's going to drop the puck back in behind the net. Kings netminder allows his defense to just dish it off down the boards up in the Penguin territory. The early goal by Kevin Hatcher on a power play for the Penguins if he joined us late. Many of you may have, because you may be used to the 7:30 start time. We started at 7 o'clock, 7:08 to be exact. The Penguins underway here early. Remember that now when you want to tune in to watch the Penguins, particularly in action at home. There are a few teams around the league have 7 o'clock start time. Now the whistle sounds, a penalty, elbowing call. Chris Tamer. Tamer's going to be called. Opot got racked up, and the Penguins draw their first penalty of the night.
Chris Tamer missed 37 games last year with that abdominal problem, and he said today that he's not feeling any soreness. He feels pretty good, and that's a good sign. And he did deliver the elbow just as he saw Vopat coming. He put it up there and nailed him with it, so he'll go off, and now the Kings will have a chance to put their power play to work.
And it'll be interesting to see how Larry Robinson, the head coach of the Kings, sets up his power play. He'll have Stumple out here, former Bruin, with Robitaille and Glenn Murray on that front line. So they use their top line to begin it, with Galley as a point man on the left side and Rob Blake on the right. Blake, one of the harder shots in the National Hockey League. His face-off, Barrasso takes the puck, can't clear. Blake held it in. Back to the left side to Garry Galley. He's just a smooth veteran who really has played a lot of years in this league by using the head and the smarts that he has. Penguins clear. Penguins were 23rd in the league in penalty killing last year. They need to improve that number. Yet it was 81%, just slightly over that, Staggy. It's not a bad number. In the old days, it would have been pretty good. The way things are in penalty killing now, just got to raise that number up a little bit.
The Kings had the second worst power play in the league last year, but it should be better with Robitaille here and also Garry Galley.
You know, the other thing is, Gary Bettman, the commissioner, has stressed the fact that more penalties would be called, so I would look for the power play numbers to maybe go up a little bit as compared to a year ago. Glenn Murray around to the right side. Penguins doing a good job of keeping the puck wide away from the net. There's a hard drive by Blake and a stop by Barrasso. Up ahead, Facette tries to hurry the play. He'll make a pass here, and Galley retrieves it. Penguins change penalty killers. Johansson and Straka on board for the Penguins, and the Kings rush it up ice. We've got Jokinen out here, the rookie, playing on the power play now to the Kings, number 21. Around to the near side of Steele. Here comes Straka back on a 2-on-1 with Johansson. Straka to Johansson, right side, moves in, shoots it, and Facette makes the save and stops it with his right pad and covers.
Well, good work by the Penguins on the penalty killing. What Kevin Constantine wants to do is force the opposition on the power play in the neutral zone. Force them to dump the puck in. Force them to go to their backhand as they carry it across the blue line. Anything they can do between the red line and attacking blue line to disrupt the flow of the power play as they come up ice. That's what they want. And Rob Blake just dumps it in here, and the Penguins, reading the play beautifully, get over and get to that loose puck. It comes off the boards, and away they go on a 2-on-1, and that's Straka and Johansson. And Straka is such an excellent playmaker. One thing about Marty Straka, you put him in positions like that, he will make a good play. He will always make the right play. If he's shooting, he'll make a good shot because he'll snap the puck, get it upstairs. He knows how to score goals. He proved that here in Pittsburgh back in 92-93 when he scored 30 goals for the Pens.
Yannick Perreault out here for the final 38 seconds on this power play. Wins the face-off. Kings drag it through to center ice. O'Donnell working back as one of the point men. Here's Ferraro on chasing for the biscuit behind the Penguin net. Not able to get there. Jokinen gives it to Ferraro. Ferraro turns around. He was flying in the warm-up here tonight. He is Mr. Penguin killer, Ray Ferraro. He's done it for years, no matter what uniform he has worn. Ferraro guns it to the net. That stopped. Ferraro's around that cage. He can't get to it this time. O'Donnell back left side, right side, and a shot towards a goal block. Penguins diving to get it out. They finally do. Penalty has expired. Tamer comes on board. The Kings fail to score in the power play. 1-0 Pittsburgh here in the first period. Jokinen over to the right wing corner to Ferraro, who is cut off at the pass back to the right point, and the Kings shoot it with Shea. Took a slap shot towards a goal. Barrasso comes out to handle the biscuit again, and up it comes, but not out. Perot's shots. Kasparaitis can't find it. There's Ferraro again. Ferraro reminds me of, and we'll talk about it in a moment. Here comes Jagr to the right side. Moving up, a 2-on-1 develops again. Morozov open. There he is. His first National Hockey League goal. Set up brilliantly by Jaromir Jagr. Alexei Morozov gets the goal. The Penguins lead 2-0. Oh, she wants to sell my monkey. And I can't say it in Russian.
Now his play started when Ferraro turned the puck over in his own zone. He tried to make a pass through the slot. The Penguins picked it off, and away they went. Jagr up the right wing, and he really dangled with that puck long enough, pulled the defenseman down, made an absolutely incredible pass on the backhand, and all Morozov had to do was tap it home. That was a layup for him. But he was in the right place. He had the stick on the ice, and he made it look easy. It was easy, but I guess it's never easy in the National Hockey League if you're a kid playing in your first game. He made no mistake. Jagr's already going off the ice, probably for equipment reasons, as Steve Lattin goes behind to help him out. Maybe a skate problem again.
Morozov gets his first ever in the National Hockey League. Francis and Jagr on the helpers. The Penguins lead 2-0. That was a 2-on-1 break, and really finished beautifully. Well, the Penguins certainly over the years, the last 10 years, have been the most offensive team in the National Hockey League. And here comes a break here on a delayed offside, and we'll return in just a moment. Penguins lead 2-0.
Home team's Fox attitude. You're watching Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
Feel the cold chill skating up your spine. It's a new ice age. These Penguins are flying. A new Cold War is about to be waged. Get fired up for the new ice age. They're smashing, they're crashing, they're turning up the heat. There's fire in their eyes. Grab a hold of your seat. These birds are hungry. Keep away from their cage. Get fired up for the new ice age.
Get your tickets now for the Pens opener October 1st and the Pens versus the Panthers October 4th.
Get fired up!
Hey, you want to see some cool shots?
The coolest game on earth is bringing you the hottest half hour on television. NHL Cool Shots showcases the game's brightest stars on and off the ice.
Pretty cool, huh?
It's your all-access pass to the NHL as Cool Shots takes you behind the scenes and into the game as you've never seen before.
There we go, Sully. Come on, baby. Come on, buddy. Wow.
NHL Cool Shots, presented by Powerade. Every Tuesday, check your local listings.
Well, Ferraro in the corner, left side of your screen, tries to feed the puck into the slot to Sean O'Donnell, the defenseman on the left side. He's breaking right into the slot. Now, away they go. You can just see that's O'Donnell there chasing, and Jagr's got the puck, and Morozov just goes to the net. You know, still, the Kings had two guys in the slot. Jagr just made a great individual play to pull the man down and then feed Morozov with a great pass.
Morozov also has left the ice along with Jagr, so those two contributors to the Penguins' second goal have gone to the locker room. Jagr, it appeared to me to be a skate problem. What else is new?
Well, and that's a worrisome thing. I mean, if it's going to lead to a groin pull again, if that's going to be a problem that keeps cropping up.
But you know what? That's not fair for me to say that because I have no idea of knowing that. So I should.
No, we don't. But we know that he did have some problems with the skates during the preseason again, and you know, obviously it's a problem that existed quite a bit last year. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility by any means.
Morozov and Hatcher scoring goals for the Penguins here in the first period. They lead 2-0. Just over 8 minutes elapsed here. Now a whistle sounds and a penalty coming up here. A hooking call against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Marty Straka will sit out. Tamer got an elbowing call earlier. Now Straka receives a minor penalty for hooking. 8:04 at the time of the minor. It's a critical time possibly for the Kings to try and get themselves back into this hockey game. They've been kind of flat here against the Penguins, and give the Penguins some credit for kind of taking the edge away. There's the hook called against Straka.
Yeah, he pulled Joseph Stumple down, and
Fellow countryman.
Yep, I like Stumple. I liked him in Boston. I think he's a good hockey player. They traded Dmitry Kristich for him. Kristich didn't get along with his teammates in that Kings locker room and had a lot of problems with him. So they bring Stumple in from Boston, who really wanted more money, and the Bruins weren't really prepared to pay him that kind of money. So here are the Penguins back on the penalty kill with Straka in the box.
A little change here for Larry Robinson. Robitaille and Murray on board here with Jokinen, who will take the center position. Stumple off. They've got Blake and Galley as their 2-point man. Blake Johnson back to the right point. It will go to Rob Blake. Left side to Garry Galley. He's joined us late. The Penguins lead 2-0 here in the first period at the Civic Arena. Robitaille sets up in front, and deflecting that is Eddie Olczyk, just wide of the net. They went penalty cover out here with Greg Johnson. The Penguins defensively have Warinka and Kevin Hatcher. Into the right point. This is Rob Blake. Sneak it over to the left side. Galley fakes a shot. They said he's a very intelligent player, Galley. Works it back center point to Blake. Right side. Now cross ring pass over to Galley. Is he going to shoot it? No. Pushed it back in behind the net. Warinka got to it, but he feathered it lightly off the boards, and the Kings steal. Set up there by the Kings in front of Murray, and a slam shot from 40 feet blocked. And let's force the play back the other way to take the heat out of a hot kitchen. 9 minutes into period number 1.
Eddie Olczyk made a good play to jump the man in the slot there before he could get the puck, and Olczyk kind of got hurt on the play. He goes off, and he's bent over now on the bench. He was shaken up.
Yannick Perreault is right to center. Tamer runs into him. Him off the puck sails around to the far corner. Perreault comes back after it behind the net. Here's Brad Smith with a turning wraparound shot blocked. Smith, the former Florida Panther, in front. Perreault punched that one, jumped right by his blade. Now Rob Blake hustles over to take the puck to the left side. The Kings send it up. Smith in front of Galley. Good shot, save, rebound, score. Galley gets it back, and he scores for the Kings. A big moment in the game. Los Angeles makes it 2-1.
Well, Galley getting his own rebound. He just came right into the slot, and Galley has been a good offensive performer. I think it's interesting. He and Rob Blake both played at Bowling Green and were drafted in much different eras, actually. Galley was taken in the 4th round in '83, and Rob Blake was taken in the 4th round in '88. But they were both outstanding players at Bowling Green, and finally they're united and actually both selected by the Kings originally. Galley, of course, left Los Angeles for Washington many years ago. You see him jump into the slot. He got around Ron Francis, and then he just flipped it upstairs with Barrasso down after making the first save. Blake and Galley might play the entire power play. They don't come off. They change the forward line, but those two guys stay out there and keep working.
They set it up to perfection. Brad Smith, an assist on the goal for the Los Angeles Kings, along with Joseph Stumple. So it's a 2-1 hockey game now. And now the whistle sounds. We've got another penalty. This time it appears against the Los Angeles Kings. So 2 power play goals here in this first period. As we saw in the preseason, Paul, they did call a lot of penalties in games, and they were very emphatic about making calls all over the ice. I mean, right from the very start of the game. What did we have one here? The first game we had that it had 23 or 24 single penalties, no coincidental penalties at all.
Well, you may remember, Mike, 2 years ago they did this in the league. They really went crazy with the penalties early in the year, and I remember the Penguins they got rich on the power play that year. That was the last year. Remember, Mario had all those points, and it really helped them get the big point total. Same with Yager and Francis, and they were off and running that year. But last year, the marginal call routine came in from Harry Sinden, and at the beginning of the year, they weren't calling anything. So it looks like they've gone back to what they did 2 years ago, and the key is how long are they going to keep doing it? Will they keep it up all year?
Robbie Brown off the near side. Plays the puck over to Jaromir Jagr. The Kings have cut the Penguins' lead to 1. Penguins trying to move it back to a 2-goal advantage here, and they snap it to the right wing boards. Back to Jagr, number 68. Here's Robbie Brown. His cool customer over to Jagr. He'll move with that puck. Brown can play on this level. There's no question about that. His intelligence playing with players that have great ability. He is great at it. Perhaps, and I think I know I certainly feel this way, that he's the best player that ever played with Mario Lemieux as far as knowing what he was going to do and how to work the puck back to him. Here is Francis. He can play with a lot of skilled players. Francis again. Penguins moving the puck around. Had a shot yet. Brown looking in the slot. The Hatcher left side. Francis overturns his stick over. Back to the right point. Olsen can't get there. He'll have to go back to center and take it. Penguins are moving the puck pretty effectively in the King zone. They'll make a quick change here. Jagr coming on. They weren't able to. Francis is playing the left point, comes over for it. And Thompson trying to change. Jagr in front. Fires that one wide of Fissette's glove hand. Francis back around to the left wing corner. Here is Jagr beating the puck from Brown. Robbie Brown behind the goal, looking, number 44. Stripping the puck nicely there by the Kings. Rob Blake, their captain, and the puck is pushed away. Francis, the Penguins captain this year.
Rob Blake borrowing a page from his coach's book. Larry Robinson, who used to make the big plays behind the cage all the time with the Canadians. They just shut the boards off behind the net on players.
It was beautiful. It really was to watch. Here's Fiset behind the cage. Now dumping to the near side. Olczyk comes running in, trying to get to the puck. Around it goes. The horn to the left side to Darius Kasparaitis. 12 seconds to go on the penalty. Ooh, O'Donnell flattens Marty Straka. Put him on his wallet. Olczyk gets the puck free. Last Gaspir. Vareka with a slam shot. Deflected loose in front. And just missing there was Olczyk. Back to the left point. Kasparaitis. Penalty's over. McLean trying to get back on. He goes to the bench instead of back in the zone. No, that was not a smart play there by McLean, the rookie. And the puck is grabbed by goaltender Fiset. What in the world was he thinking? McLean came out of the penalty box, skated across with the puck in his own end. We'll be back.
A meteor? How close? I'm on my way. I forgot the kid's Coca-Cola. Excuse me.
Thanks, Mom.
You're super. So you call yourselves the stars of hockey?
That's right.
Let me get this straight. When somebody gets checked really hard, you guys pop up and circle around their helmets.
Yeah, sounds easy, but sometimes we have to run out there 30, 40 times a game. Take a look at the monitor. Boom! See that? We were in perfect formation. We had to run around that guy for 15 minutes.
The Pens are back and headed down south to battle the all-new Hurricane.
He shoots and scores.
Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. Be glad you're just watching.
AGH, Allegheny General Hospital brings you the scoring leaders this year, and these are the preseason scoring leaders for the Penguins, and none other than Ron Francis led the way. Rob Brown right behind him. Roman Suda will be assigned by the Penguins to a minor league team. But Ronnie's going to have an interesting year. He still has to be a defensive guy on that line with Jagr and the rookie Morozov, and yet he's probably going to be counted on for offense more than he has since he left Hartford. Mario Lemieux gone, so it's going to be an interesting year for him.
Morozov, has he come back? I don't think so. Going to the locker room. Shot by Tyler Wright. That's off the stick of Fiset, and losing side of the puck was a referee, Mark Fiset. He calls for a face-off to the right of the Kings net.
The Penguins employing a fourth line right here with Hicks and Wright and Garry Volk.
Fiset didn't know where it was, and neither did the referee. Christina Slay works with us Fox Sports Net. She's recovering from an accident, and we hope she's feeling better. We miss you. And I want to dedicate this season. The press guide has done that here at the Civic Arena to an old friend who passed away this summer, Terry Schiffauer. So this season for me is dedicated to Terry and his family. He was Mr. Penguin. We miss him dearly. Hockey Berg around the near side. Bopak relays it back to center, and it is delivered back by Slager. And behind the Los Angeles net. Very quiet crowd here tonight at Civic Arena for the opening game. I think they're kind of just coming out to take a look at what the Penguins have to offer this year without Lemieux. Bopak takes a shot. That'll go wide of the cage. Berg again poking behind the Penguin net. Sure will be Chris Tamer. 2-1 the score. The Penguins lead here in the first period. Stop scoring along with Kevin Hatcher for the Penguins. And Gary Galley connecting for the Los Angeles Kings. Gary Volk just plays it out of his own end. The shots are low, 5-4 Los Angeles.
I think Kevin Constantine's fingerprints were all over this team in the preseason. Anybody who did come to the building would have, I think, agreed. Penguins worked extremely hard, and the practices that they used and really helped them, I think, in games and already showing up here in the opener.
And I think the other thing is, and you don't know on a regular season basis, Morozov is back on here now for the Penguins. But they worked, for the most part, a full 60 minutes in the game, and they got stronger as the game went along. So we'll see if that transpires into play here tonight.
No.
Morozov with speed coming after it. Keen sense, it appears to me, for the puck.
He's a good feel for the puck. His head is up all the time looking around. He doesn't have to look down at the puck when he handles it.
Ferraro right up the left hand of goaltender Tom Barrasso. Here comes Jaromir Jagr. Jagr stretching out down the near side. Talked about Ferraro flying in skate here tonight. Boy, Jagr was doing the same thing for the Penguins. He had all motors going. Ferraro giveaway to Olsen shooting. And he missed the net. That's twice now. Ferraro has given the puck away from the Kings. Olsen shooting. That's off the right hand. Pick up by ground in front. Oh, is he crushed by Robitaille. And his helmet dislodged. Back to the left side. Kasparaitis to Struck. A penalty coming up against the Kings. And it'll be finally whistled down as the Kings gain possession. Boy, Robbie Brown almost had his number cut to 22. 2-1 Pittsburgh.
With Plymouth, this is what you pay for. And this is what you get. Take, for example, Plymouth Breeze. You get modified double wishbone suspension, air conditioning, a full folding rear seat back, plus lots more. And this is what you pay. One more time. This is what you pay for, and this is what you get. Now get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% APR only at your Plymouth dealer.
Robbie Brown got nailed in front of the net a moment ago. He put the puck down and tried to whack it into the goal. He got hit from behind, in front, and then from behind. Robitaille really nailed him. One thing we noticed about Luke when he was here and before he got here too, he does get those elbows up sometimes, and it just turned out, I think, that where Brown ended up there, it was right in the line of fire with Robitaille coming in with that forearm up, and he really got nailed from behind. But Ferraro ends up in the box for holding.
Like Bermani sandwich fried bologna on. He got the total sandwich there.
Yes, he did.
Think that'll get you a free sandwich sometime?
He didn't get the French fries and the coleslaw with it, though.
No.
Almost. Bouncing
One
around.
more hit, he'd add the whole package. Penguin power play again. Ferraro off here. Penguins set up shop. Jagr rushing down the right wing to the Kings blue line. It'll be Rob Brown. The Penguins won both games against the Kings last year, and winning in Los Angeles, and that's about as rare as the last earthquake was when the Penguins won in Los Angeles.
I think they've won 15 games all time in Los Angeles. History of the franchise.
Craig Johnson of the Pens up the center now to Ron Francis. Zigzag his way in down the left wing board. He Cooley has the puck, looks for Johnson in the slot. That's not going to happen. Uses his body to shield the puck and gets to it to the near side to Robbie Brown. Oh, is he hit again on a hard stiff check by Garry Galley. Brown had his helmet knocked off for a second time. And the puck is pushed away. And they're looking for Robbie Brown here, the Kings defenseman. Brownie can agitate too. I'm sure he's in there barking away. Actually, I think he plays a better game when he gets physically involved. He really does. He'll be back. Here comes Johnson again to slide it in behind the net. After it, Bissett. Rolling her out of the near boards. The Penguins after it. They'll come up the near side. Warenka relays it over to Eddie Olczyk of the Penguins. Now on to Greg Johnson. 34 to go in the Penguin power play. 2-1 Pittsburgh here in the first. Johnson has a man open left side. Now Warenka takes the pass over to Kasparaitis. Kings shut it down well. Good play by the Kings. They just followed the puck, and Yannick Perreault stood his ground, knocked it aside.
Warenka playing on the point with Darius Kasparaitis on the second power play unit.
Outlet to center. He's going to be controlled by Sean O'Connell. Remember back last year, the Penguins played Tampa Bay on opening night, leading that game and ended up in a tie, lost in overtime. Here is Kasparaitis to the net. He makes a stop and a little banging away here with Nordstrom. Nordstrom of the Kings. A couple of the Penguins jockey for position. We'll be back in a moment. 2-1 Pittsburgh right here on Fox Sports Net.
With Plymouth, this is what you pay for. And this is what you get. Take, for example, Plymouth Breeze. You get modified double wishbone suspension, air conditioning, a full folding rear seat back, plus lots more. And this is what you pay. One more time. This is what you pay for, and this is what you get. Now get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% APR only at your Plymouth dealer.
Today is a black day in the history of the NHL. It grieves me to report that the most noble symbol of the game of hockey, the Stanley Cup, has been stolen. Please, one moment. What kind of sick and twisted person would do such a thing? Police have no clues except for a sound heard by one of the night watchmen, doobie, doobie, doo.
Doobie, doobie, doo.
Drink Bud Ice, but beware the penguins.
Welcome back to Fox Sports Pittsburgh, the region of Fox Sports Net, and our coverage of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Kevin Constantine was telling me today, he said, I've learned that over the years that opening night really is a time when you really can't get a real read for your team. You're not going to be able to draw many conclusions because a lot of times the hype and the excitement will get guys away from the things that they've been focusing on for 3 weeks in training camp, and it'll take a little while for it to sink back in again. So he's not really expecting this game to necessarily be a picture of how this team's going to look for the rest of the year, although I think the Penguins have looked a lot like they did in the preseason in this game in terms of their work ethic. And you look at the shots, 6-6, they're definitely keeping the totals down, and that's something they really stressed in training camp.
Around to the near corner. There's a heavy hit by Alex Six on one of the Kings on the near side. That was Nordstrom. Around the horn to Craig Johnson, and he is slowed by Tyler Wright. Penguins putting pressure on here, keeping the puck inside the Kings end. Penguins using a fourth line here, and really, if you look at a fourth line, if they can get you an odd goal once in a while, but the main job of a fourth line, if you will, is to just keep that puck in the other team's end if possible. Just not let them get out and keep it in there.
And the Penguins really, I think, have to develop a possession line, and I'm sure that they'll do that during the course of the year. Tyler Wright back on that fourth line. Kevin Constantine talked about ice time, and he said the main thing is that we just don't want to get guys up into that 26, 27-minute range. He thinks that's too high. You'd like to keep guys in the 22-minute range maximum for ice time during the course of a hockey game. Naturally, Yager and Francis will get more ice time than most guys because they not only play the power play and a regular shift, they also kill penalties, but I think Kevin's going to keep close tabs on that. There's only so much tread on the tire. And like Ronnie Francis particularly, you don't want to wear him out in the first half of the year.
Speaking of Ron Francis, here he is in to handle the face-off for the Penguins. Back to Yager and a clean win. Wrist shot right to the net, and Facette makes that stop. That was a dangerous play there. You give Yager an opportunity to do that. He had 62 2 years ago, 47 goals last year. Jaromir Jagr. Watch Francis.
You see him watching the hand of the linesman, waiting for him to drop the puck, and that's the key. He watched it intently, and then he was right there to draw that puck back. He really went to that crosshand method, and he went to different approaches last year when they came in with the new rules on the faceoffs that you had to be square to the dot. No more cheating.
Yager's 8th year in the National Hockey League. 25-year-old right winger. Established himself, I would say, as the best right winger in the National Hockey League. Subject to argument, of course. Some great players in the National League this year. Defending Stanley Cup champions are the Detroit Red Wings this year. 6 years, 6 different champions. Last 6. What's up coming down the right wing, trying to make a play here. Kings scoop it up. Rob Blake skating on one leg, looks for Robitaille. Robitaille must have tied him up, and now the Kings get it free. And Robitaille centered, nice play, and a deflection right in on goal, and it's stopped by Tom Barrasso. Well, Luke is very crafty. Give him just a second, not only as a goal scorer, but as a passer too. He's a pretty effective player around that net. He spots a lot of openings and sees people open. Well, you know who was really great at that, and I think that he probably learned from his early days in his career. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Marcel Dion house Luc Robitaille when he first came to the Kings, or is that too far back, or am I got the wrong player?
I'm thinking of Carson being the guy who was really tight with him, but you're probably right. I think Robitaille and Marcel Dion were together as well.
And when his rookie year, think in his rookie year, and he. Recall him talking about that and how much you remember Marcel Dion, how he played the game very much like that. I mean, just looking all the time and spotting people open. Well, he was a great player. Great balance on his skates. along the near side. Bopot. That's a crack at it. He can't find the net. Sean O'Donnell on the far wing by Darius Kasparaitis. Kasparaitis was like a bulldozer in a construction yard at practice yesterday. He was hitting anything that moved in practice. He was anxious to get into game action, I think. Along the near wing, the Kings steal, and look out here. Johansson's kind of trapped. He's chasing back to get in. McLean shuffles it off to the right wing corner. Brian Smith around the right side to O'Donnell. McLean reaches in behind the net. Knocked off the skates. Penguins crying out there was no foul, but not so. Robbie Brown's going to be sent off. Brown's over trying to help to get possession, and the Penguins do. Robbie Brown tied up McLean, a holding call. And the Los Angeles Kings will get another power play chance here.
Well, Brownie wrapped his arms around him for just a moment, and then you saw the arm go up, and then Brown's arms went up as if to say, I didn't do anything. He got the old cookie jar act here. Watch. And you know, if you think about it, you look at it there, it almost looked like he didn't do anything wrong. He got an elbow in the face for his trouble, too. An accidental one for McLean. He ends up in the box. A nice welt there around the right eye, too, from that elbow he took earlier.
They're banging him around.
You see Don Jackson there to the left on your screen of Kevin Constantine. He will be handling the defense for the Penguins. Mike Eaves is the other coach on the bench.
Now Galley shoots and scores. We've got a tie hockey game. Galley's second right from the faceoff, and he really pulled the trigger and ripped a shot by Barasso's glove hand. It is 2-2. So the Kings get a second power play goal. Brand new hockey game. Boy, did he shoot that puck.
And we talked about the Kings having the second worst power play in the league and how he might make a difference. Well, has he ever? He's got both goals for them with a man advantage. And the game is tied at 2. 2 Penguins, 3 Penguins in the slot. Galley had a lot of time to tee that one up, and Barasso had a lot of bodies in front of him. He was down on his knees, and I don't think he ever saw that shot.
It's amazing to me that the puck really was on edge when he shot it and how much he got on it. I'm a little shocked that he was able to really, it just went so quick. The puck really wasn't flat on the ice. It was kind of tipped up. Still gets it home. I'm not sure if a Penguin passed it back to try and get it out of the zone or it was a Kings player that got it to him. Oh, we'll wait that call in a moment. 2-2 the score now in the first period. Hatcher knocked down off his skate. The Kings power play. Becoming a very important part of this hockey game. The Kings rally to tie the game. Going forward is Alex Hicks. Look to put it in front of the net. It is unassisted. The Penguins were clearing the puck and they gave it away to Galley, and he was the man that put it in. Hicks back with just over a half a minute to go in this first period. Olli Jokinen. Up the right wing to the open man Yannick Perreault. Perreault's shot deflected, and that one over the glass and out of action.
Well, this season, Giant Eagle will bring you the Penguins scoring contest. To enter, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Fox Sports Pittsburgh. Contestants will be selected before each game. If the Penguins score during the selected periods, a Giant Eagle gift certificate for $50 will be awarded. If the Penguins do not score, a consolation prize of $10 will be awarded. Again, to enter, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Fox Sports Pittsburgh for the Giant Eagle scoring contest.
The intermission, Stan Sabrin will recap the goal scoring for you, and also Staggy will be over to talk to him. Another year, Staggy, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of weird to open the season with a team from the West. You don't usually see that, and we've seen a team that you only see twice in the whole year. When's the next time we see the Kings?
Actually, in early December.
In December, you're right.
Center ice, the Kings gathered in. This is the start of a 5-game road trip for the Kings. Usual practice. Play in Boston tomorrow night. We have the Rangers, Carolina, and St. Louis before they go home for their opener. The period comes to a close. So the Penguins had a 2-0 lead halfway through the first period, but the Los Angeles Kings make their power play work. Gary Galley with 2. The score at the end of the first period, the Penguins 2, the Kings 2. Stay tuned to Fox Sports Pittsburgh. Stan Sabrin is coming up with the Mellon Bank first period intermission report. Penguins hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by the new Dodge. See your friendly Dodge dealer near you. By the Tribune Review. Nobody covers your team like the Tribs team. Isn't it time you tried the Trib? And by Cameron Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Classic. Always Coca-Cola on ice.
The security of a quality healthcare plan is something that helps you feel good, whoever you are, wherever you live. At U.S. Healthcare, we provide our members with access to the highest quality of care, with over 250,000 private practice physicians and many of the country's finest medical centers. That's why so many Americans are picking the apple. U.S. Healthcare. You'll feel better with us.
Over the years, I've been hit just about everywhere. And I gotta tell you, I don't like it. But there's one place I especially don't like getting hit. That's the wallet. If you feel the same, then hurry down to Meineke. Because now, for a limited time, when you buy new brakes at Meineke, you'll get half off Rebesta's premium lifetime pads and shoes. This is a limited time offer, so you better hurry. I'm all for saving a few dollars. For example, I don't pay my sparring partner much, but I do feed him pretty well.
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
College football Saturday shoots for the end zone on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. It's a battle in the Big Ten when the Michigan Wolverines leave the Big House to take on the Hoosiers of Indiana. Saturday on Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
Feel the cold chill skating up your spine. It's a new ice age. These penguins are flying. A new cold war is about to be waged. Get fired up for the new ice age. They're smashing, they're crashing, they're turning up the heat. There's fire in their eyes, grab a hold of your seat. These birds are hungry, keep away their cage. Get fired up for the new ice age.
Get your tickets now for the Pens opener October 1st and the Pens versus the Panthers October 4th.
Get fired up!
Let's face it, when you're buying a car, price is everything. McCain, Pittsburgh's biggest car dealer. Always the low price.
Check out our summer clearance on selected new 97 models, like the 97 Oldsmobile 88, with over 20 in stock as low as $19,497, and the 97 Ford Explorer with over 30 in stock as low as $23,497.
Test drive and compare 7 of America's top 10 sellers in just one stop at McCain.
You're watching Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
What's all this talk about the new Penguins? They look an awful lot like the old ones to me. 2 pretty picture-perfect goals and giving up 2 power play goals. Why, you'd think it was 1996 all over again. Welcome back to the Mellon Bank First Intermission Report. 4 goals scored in the first period, certainly more than Kevin Constantine would like, especially the 2 scored by the LA Kings. The Penguins on the power play get on the board first, and even without Mario, it looks like they had a pretty good power play. Interesting here, Jaromir Jagr's at the right point. He feeds Rob Brown, and the puck deflects off the stick of Kevin Hatcher. The goal at 1:33. Somebody asks you 3 months from now who scored the first goal of the Penguin season, you tell them Kevin Hatcher on the power play. Alexei Morozov's career lasted 7 minutes and 20 seconds before he got his first goal, a pretty 2-on-1. Sean O'Donnell cheated in the offensive zone. The Penguins break out in a 2-on-1 the other way. Pretty play by Jagr. Morozov, his first NHL career goal. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. But then the power play, or more accurately, the penalty-killing bugaboo. Garry Galley has been a career power play point guy. That's what he does. That's why he stays in the league. There he sneaks in between the circles, gets his own rebound. That makes it a 2-1 hockey game at 9:32. And late in the hockey game, Rob Brown in the penalty box. It is Galley again. His second goal of the game, both on the power play, and this one late in the period. You hate to have that happen. The goal at 18:51. Galley, with 2 power play goals, has this hockey game tied at 2 apiece. 3 of the 4 goals scored on the power play. When we come back to the Civic Arena, Paul Steigerwald and I will have answers for everything. Stay tuned.
Anything in life that's worth going after is worth saving for. And there's just one place to go for the best ways to save. At Mellon, we have a full range of investment and checking options for you to choose from. Right now, you can come to Mellon for a deal this good. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELON-24. Melon. It's where you're going.
To cancer, this is the face of adversity. It belongs to Dr. Mark Rowe. He fights cancer by surrounding it, combining radiation, chemotherapy, freezing, and surgery. He's giving people some place to turn when they thought none was left. And he's changing the rules of war, because if cancer doesn't fight fair, why should we? Allegheny General, advancing the frontier of medicine. The only Pittsburgh hospital rated among America's best in cancer care by U.S. News and World Report.
So Dad said, you want advice? Go to Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse.
One and only interior paint. Made with titanium dioxide, so just one coat's all you need to cover any...
3 children, and you know how kids are.
That's why it's guaranteed to take 15 years of scrubbing. You'll appreciate
Love this low price. Why do you think they call us Lowe's?
How many colors can you match? Over 1 million.
How about this?
When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows.
Sure, money was part of it, but that wasn't the only reason. Office Depot takes the worry out of buying office supplies. We shopped other stores, but Office Depot had more brands, bigger inventory, and guaranteed low prices. With next-day delivery, we can place our order by phone, right from the catalog. There's no reason to go anywhere else.
Office Depot. Still the biggest, still the best. Still taking care of business, one customer at a time. Taking care of business. Office Depot.
Jaromir Jagr with a pair of assists. Kevin Hatcher and Alexei Morozov with the Penguin goals. 2-2 at the end of one period. Both LA goals. Paul Steigerwald coming on the power play. Any lapses in the penalty killing that you've seen?
Well, I think, you know, the Penguins penalty killing, they worked on it a lot in the preseason, and Troy Ward actually is in charge of that. Rick Keogh's in charge of the power play. You know, and Kevin Constantine obviously oversees everything. But I think what happened was it's just a case of the Kings getting good play from Garry Galley, and maybe the Penguins not putting enough pressure on the points. Blake and Galley are both really talented players. And you notice that Galley was in pretty tight in the slot when he took that one shot. The other time he snuck in, was right on the doorstep. So they've got to keep their eyes on Galley and Blake. I think those two guys are strong players on the points, and if they're able to sneak in, they don't get out and put pressure on them, give them time, they'll burn you, which is what Galley did.
Well, I'm conducting the interview, so I got to ask the questions. It's up to Paul to come up with answers.
Yeah, right.
So I'll ask you, does Constantine have enough players who can play his style of hockey? They may want to, but are they capable of it?
I think he does. I think he really does. You know, I think he's happy with the way Straka has played so far. It'll be interesting to see if he can elevate his game defensively. But you talk about Hicks and Falk. I think Eddie Olczyk's a responsible player. I think there are enough guys who can play defensively and responsibly. The question I have is, are there enough guys who can score goals? It's not so much will they be able to check. And I think he'll get them to check systematically. And I think there are guys who are willing to work hard. I think the question is whether or not there are enough guys who can put the puck in the net, Stan.
Last question, what's Mike Lang really like?
He's a nice guy.
You don't have to answer. Okay, thanks, Paul. Paul's getting ready for the start of the second period. The Pens have given up 2 goals already. That's about as many as Constantine would like to give up in a game. 2-2 at the end of one.
Through the magic of hypnosis, you can now enjoy the great taste of pizza outlet through the glow of your TV tube. Relax and slowly inhale millions of these tiny taste photons. Mmm. Call now and get not 1 but 2 large one-topping pizzas for just $9.99 delivered. $9.99? Run to the phone and call Pizza Outlet. Demand your 2 large one-topping pizzas for just $9.99 delivered. Remember to scream fresh into the phone when they ask your address.
What's good news, David, is that we got the bed. I haven't come out and applied for it, but for some reason, I need your passport.
We'll just take the
So, I'm going to talk to these guys before not last. Tell them we have
and everyday people
cover car statement.
I am very, very prissy. I love to be pampered. I go have my hair done. I love to go have my nails done, have pedicures, manicures. My biggest weakness would have to be shoes. Cashback bonus award really floats my boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I am definitely a shopaholic.
It pays to discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Feel the cold chill skating up your spine. It's a new ice age. These penguins are flying. A new cold war is about to be waged. Get fired up for the new ice age. They're smashing, they're crashing, they're turning up the heat. There's fire in their eyes, grab a hold of your seat. These birds are hungry, keep away their cage. Get fired up for the new ice age.
Get your tickets now for the Pens opener October 1st and the Pens versus the Panthers October 4th.
Get fired up! Let's face it, when you're buying a car, price is everything. McCain, Pittsburgh's biggest car dealer. Always the low price.
Like the new 97 Honda Accord LX sedan. Final price just $15,697 or lease for $199 per month. And the fabulous 97 Plymouth Voyager. Final price just $14,297 or lease for $175 per month.
Test drive and compare 7 of America's top 10 sellers in just one stop at McCain.
You're watching Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
More scoring than I'm sure Kevin Constantine would like. We're set for the start of the second period. Mike and Paul back with the call right after this.
Anything in life that's worth going after is worth saving for. And there's just one place to go for the best ways to save. At Mellon, we have a full range of investment and checking options for you to choose from. Right now, you can come to Mellon for a deal this good. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON-24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
Unspoken words. Unconditional love. Hopes and dreams. Sold in over 190 countries around the world, Coca-Cola is proud to be among the things we share.
It was troubling for Nostradamus when he would foresee wars, plagues, and disasters. But what really broke him up was predicting Triple Crown winners and not having a call-a-bet account. Bigfoot was a big wagerer who wanted to keep a low profile, but he was often seen leaving tracks. With Call-a-Bet, he could have bet every major track in the U.S. without ever leaving his cave. Call 1-800-LADBROKE to open your account.
Excitement is growing over Midas Ultra Pro brake pads. When this brake pad material was tested on San Francisco taxis, it lasted 29% longer than their standard brake pads. Cab owners are delighted. Since they'll be spending less on brake repairs, they can now spend more on sprucing up their fleets.
What do you love? What do you hate?
Well, the game tied at 2 after 1 period of play, and we're joined downstairs by assistant coach Mike Eves. And Michael, a lot of special teams play in that first period. What was your thought on the 2 goals that were scored by Los Angeles, both by Garry, Galley, and their points, in terms of what you were trying to do penalty killing wise?
Well, it's interesting. We were talking in between periods that it looked like we were thinking too much on penalty killing in the preseason. I thought we'd got to the point where we were reacting and putting pressure, and out here we got caught in between, and it cost us twice. So we're hoping the guys will relax a little bit and go in the way that we were killing the penalty in the preseason.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike, for being with us.
Thank you.
It. That's Mike Eves, who played for Bob Johnson in Calgary, and he looks like him and sounds like him. And people said he was a Bob Johnson protege, and he's an upbeat guy, a good guy to have in the locker room. There you see the stats from the first period, brought to you by Bud Ice. Really evenly played period. Scoring chances pretty much the same. Power play similar. And you can see that the shots were even at 8. And the score is tied at 2. And Garry Galley has both goals for Los Angeles on the power play. Kevin Hatcher and Alexei Morozov with his first goal in the NHL for Pittsburgh.
All right, the second period here
as the Penguins settle in. As just said, and Tom Barrasso coming back. As Paul mentioned to you in the first period, he played only 5 games last year in the rehab with a shoulder problem. A very effective preseason. Here comes Yager late to the ice for the Penguins. Ossoff, Yager, and Francis, the trio out here for Coach Kevin Constantine. And the Penguins have Hatcher and Wawrinka on the backside. Period number 2 begins. When Murray. The Kings gained a little momentum after the first goal that they scored to get them back into this game. They right now, I think, have the upper hand in this contest between the two clubs. They're going to try and carry it over to the second here. Galley dish it off behind his back over to Rob Blake. Galley has 2 goals. I don't know if Galley's ever had a hat trick in his NHL career. Somehow, some way, I think I've seen that he did score 3 in 1 game, but I'm not sure of that. We'll have our ace statistician, Chase Edmondson, maybe take a look at that. Yager rambling back into the Kings in. Francis trying to take the pass. That's broken up. Blake looking for Robitaille. Robitaille looking behind the net. Yager steals in front of Francis and a quick shot. Bissett got over to block that with his left arm. And the Kings do get it out of danger. At center ice, Murray drags it back into the Penguins into the left side to Luke Robitaille of Los Angeles. A shot blocked. The Penguins come back with a quick rush. Yager's open. Straka gunning back on the left side to Johansson. He goes to the towards the net and he shoots that puck way offline.
I think that hit a stick on the way in, Mike. It was deflected, I believe.
Here comes Straka back after to the near wing in the Kings zone. Back to the left point. He throws it in behind the net. Yager's going for it. Yager turns. Couldn't get it to anybody. I think Yager wants to get off here. The puck is lifted by Los Angeles back to Penguin territory. Barrasso hurries in out of his own zone. Here's Johansson. He was up and down with the Penguins last year. Coming over to trade with the New York Islanders. Yannick Perreault able to get to it, and the Kings now have to scoop it up at center ice. Philippe Boucher defensively for Los Angeles. His partner out here, T.S. Nordstrom. Kings are, I think, much improved defensively, Paul. They move the puck pretty well. A little better defensively as a unit. Gary Robinson now in his 3rd year coaching this club.
Well, Rob Blake being healthy doesn't hurt, and they are a team that is bigger and younger than they were last year.
Johnson scoots into the Penguin zone. Jokinen took a solid check from Kasparaitis, plays off that check and throw it towards the net. Barrasso comes up with the puck, shoots it off the glass around to the far wing. Sandy Mulder, the former Bruin, leaves the puck for Yannick Perreault, and the Penguins do a good job, very nice job by Yuri Slager. Take the man out of the play, force the puck away, and the Penguins clear. Dumped right back in. Slager had his helmet dislodged. Has to go for the puck. He's a good skating defenseman, Yuri Slager. Outlet off the boards, right to the Kings. Roman Volpot shoot it back towards the net. That's blocked by Slager. And now Deme takes the puck and he'll slam it to center, but the Kings shoot it in. They're offside.
Sandy Mulder and Slager getting involved. Here they go.
Slager and Sandy Mulder, the rugged winger for the Los Angeles Kings, involved in a fight here.
And Slager's upper body is incredible. He's got the biggest arms I've ever seen in the NHL. They're gigantic. He's really strong up top.
And Mulder has the pin on him, and down he goes.
Slager was hit from behind by Mulder as they were coming out of the Pittsburgh zone, and he turned to look at him, and they dropped the gloves and went at it. I don't know if Slager had taken a shot at Mulder earlier or what.
Now, I think that he had his helmet when his helmet was knocked off. He may have been the man that did that, and Slager may have come back at him. Let's see if we can get a look at it here and what happened.
And that's where Slager took Perreault into the boards. He did a good job, and it was Perreault who knocked his helmet off.
Yeah.
Kind of watched him after that, and I really never saw him get involved with Moger until Moger took a little piece of him as they were coming out of the zone, and away they went. And Moger, a big guy, look at that gash on his throat. He was injured a lot last year in Boston.
Pittsburgh penalty number 71, Gary Slager. 5 minutes each completed. Time of the penalties 2:42. Moger, Slager, 5.
Penguins Hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, home of the minivan store. By Giant Eagle, it takes a giant to make life simple. And by Advance Auto, the best part is our people. Slager and Sandy Mulder receive Major penalties for fighting. Coincidental majors will not affect the play on the ice. And if you're wondering whether or not Garry Galley has a hat trick in his NHL career, as I said, it must have been his cousin, Jamie Galley, who played with the International League. Not Garry. Here's shot by Falk. Missed the net. Galley has never tallied 3 in one game. Here's center ice and going for to be Freddie Olsen. The defenseman on the boards. He is paired with Kasparaitis out here for the Penguins. Game tied at 2. Roman Belpot sneak it back in behind the net. Another penalty coming up, and Kasparaitis will be issued this one. The Kings will go back to work on the power play as Ferraro was hauled down by Kasparaitis, former teammates with the New York Islanders. And we'll return in a moment. Kings power play right around the corner.
I've been vending Coors Light for a long time. It's who I am. At home, it's, hey, beer man, pass the peas. When the mail comes, it says, hey, beer man, you may have won $10 million. Being the beer man's a wonderful thing. People know Frost brewed refreshment. They're always happy to see me, and I'm recognized wherever I go.
Hey, beer man.
Hey, bobbin head doll man. Coors Light! Coors Light!
How do you make a Dodge Neon go even faster? Offer $1,500 cash back. Or low financing for 60 months that can save you a bundle. So before this offer ends, step on it to the friendly Dodge dealer near you. How easy is it to buy a new Dodge Stratus? Just pick A or B, which can save you a bundle over 60 months. A or B, B or A. Hey, whichever one you choose, you win at the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
This is what Rob Blake said about his team. Other players are saying we are hard to play against. That's a big change from last year. And certainly in that last shift, got a little chippy there. Darius Kasparaitis ends up getting a penalty for cross-checking. Looked like he got hit from behind, too, down there behind the net. He gave a little push there and knocked Ferraro down, but then he got bumped from behind right after that. No penalty was called. I think it was LaPerriere who hit him, so he gets the penalty. He's in the box. The Kings have a chance to add to their power play totals.
It's right now registers 2 for 3, and they shoot it to the net. That stop made by Barrasso, and the rebound is cleared at the last second by Kevin Hatcher. Yager shorthanded, racing back into the Kings end. And Galley trying to shut him off at the pass. The Kings scoop it up again, and here comes Joseph Stumpel. Cross to the left wing side of the Penguin zone. Kings set up shop here. Brad Smith off the Galley, another slap shot deflected in, and the Kings have the lead 3-2. Was it deflected by a King player? Stumpel around the net? It may have been.
I think it might have been Robitaille who got the goal. The way he reacted, he was high in the slot, over by the top of the circle, and it looked like he might have gotten his magic wand on that shot from the point. One thing the Kings have done this entire game when they've been on the power play is get a lot of time at the points to take shots. The Penguins allowing Galley to just tee one up there, and I think Robitaille was able to get his wand on that thing and jumped right over the shoulder of Barrasso. See where Robitaille is, right in the middle there. And he, in fact, gets his blade on it. What a deflection that was. 3-2 Los Angeles.
Smith and Galley, another point for Garry Galley. Los Angeles Kings have the lead for the first time in the game, 3-2. 3 power play goals and 4 cracks at it for the Los Angeles Kings. Here's a hard shot by Robbie Brown. The Penguins facing adversity here for the first time down in the hockey game. Kings race in to take command of it in their own territory. Philippe Boucher. The first power play goal by the Kings, Galley, kind of set them off and running in the second half of period number 1, and they haven't stopped since.
Well, Garry Galley acquired as a free agent during the offseason. What an acquisition he has been already. We're all in Los Angeles thanking Larry Robinson and Dave Taylor right now for having the smarts to acquire this guy. Garry Galley last year performed extremely well for the Buffalo Sabres. He's 34 years old. He obviously keeps himself in great shape. I would say he probably leads the NHL in talking. He is one of the more talkative people in the league. And it's a good interview and a good quote as a result. I think he was a valuable guy for Buffalo last year. It looks like he's already paying some dividends in Los Angeles.
Deme trying to move the puck out of his own end. The Kings put pressure on again. It rolls to the net, and Barrasso scoops it up with that right paw to hold on. Barrasso really was helpless on the deflection by Robitaille, but he's being on the heat of the crowd here, thinking that it was his fault that that puck went in. But the Penguins leaving those point men wide open for those big shots, and you start doing that, and you've got people like Robitaille and others, and even Galley, I mean, who can fill the net. They can put it in there. So they're going to have to be a little quicker to get out and cut the angles down and get to people.
Puck bouncing around. Unfortunately, Barrasso was able to glove it. Marenka getting back to stop Glenn Murray going to the net.
Johnson, Olczyk, and Deme, the trio out for the Penguins. From the left point, a shot block. There's Glenn Murray trying to shuffle it over to Ferraro. He was open right around that net. It comes off the blocker of Barrasso, and Ferraro will chase it down. Able to gain possession behind the net for the Penguins. Just works it off the glass. The Penguins appear to be stunned right now. They're in kind of a confused state. I think they realize that, you know, the Kings have just come on so strong here, and they're not quite sure what's hit them. They're going to have to try and regroup and get themselves together. And the puck over the glass and out of action. Just one of those periods of the game here, and you could feel it coming towards the end of period number one and continuing here in the second, where they're getting hit and they're getting blindsided. They're not sure where it's all coming from.
Well, one thing about special teams play, it'll kind of take your tempo away from you in the flow, and I think that's hurt the Penguins here. Penalty killing, when it's successful, can breed confidence and momentum for your club. And when you allow power play goals, it seems to sap you with confidence, and that seems to be what happened to the Penguins here. The special teams play has not been good. Penalty killing has hurt them, and as a result, it seems to have affected their entire game. Look at Tyler Wright. He's going to have some kind of an injury.
Staggy, I'm thinking too, and I can't recall the play, but even the goal that took not long to connect on Kasparaitis scored from a face-off. Well, that was a face-off win that kind of dominated the play, and I think on key situations, maybe the Kings are winning a few of those key face-offs too. Here's Rob Blake sailing through center ice. He'll rip it down the right wing boards with the Penguins in. The Penguins clear. The Penguins right now are just kind of in a content mode and just try and keep the puck out of their own end and hope that nothing happens on the wrong side. When you start playing like that, you get tentative and the other team can exploit it, and they come full bore at you. You can get in trouble. Perrier going to the net. Barrasso sweeps it away into the near side. Kasparaitis got kicked to the nose. There'll be a penalty against LaPerriere. And that will send the Kings to the penalty box. Well, this one far from over the way it's going with the penalties. And the Penguins certainly have the firepower and the people to fill the net too.
Olsen getting back into that. Tyler Wright also to stop LaPerriere, and then when Kasparaitis came in to get the puck, LaPerriere got the stick up and hit him right in the schnoz with it. Well, that's the first time, but not the last time. Darius Kasparaitis will be reaching for that face, and as we saw last year, he looks like a different person by the end of the year. Ian LaPerriere acquired from the Rangers a couple of years ago, and that big deal that sent Garry Curry, Shane Churla to the New York Rangers at the end of the season. Marty McSorley also involved in that deal. The Rangers have just traded so many young hockey players in the last couple of years.
This Don McLean played with Christian Dubé of the Rangers at Hull. Played together. Let's see him out here now. The Kings in their penalty killing situation. The Penguins 1 for 3 on the power play. Here comes Ron Francis. 3-2 Los Angeles now in the second period. Yager trying to knock it down with a glove and carry it to the net. Can't do it. Barrasso comes wide of his goal to set the play up for Freddie Olsen. Let's survey the scene. There's Robbie Brown. Set up the Penguins' first goal of the night. Off to Francis, man right in front there. Brown, Fassé, stopped the deflection. And Nordstrom now comes after Brown and whacks him. A stumble after him out also. And Robbie has them all going down around that net. They have come after him all night long.
And he doesn't back down. He'll go right back and plant himself in that position again next time. But you have to give the Kings credit too. They are basically sending a message back the other way that if you're going to stand in there, you're going to pay the price, even if it's after the whistle. Francis with a great one-touch pass to Brown. And Brown able to still get his stick and turn it towards the net. But if he read that little pass by Francis beautifully, and he flopped to the ice, he had his body down and over on Brown right away and able to stop him. Seth doing a good job of getting back to the post, and then Brown pushed out of the way. How many times did we see that in Brown's first stint with the Penguins?
Yeah, but he must get him going. Nordstrom's not known as a real physical defenseman, the guy that's going to come after you, and they've been after him all night long. So he must be parking pretty good at either Facette or the defenseman continuously around that net. And he can do that. 1:25 to go in the LaPerriere penalty. 3-2 Los Angeles here in the second period. To the right point, Olsen swinging over to Yager. Sets the play up. Yager with a couple of points in front, intended for Francis just off his stick. Back to the left point. Olsen of Pittsburgh trying to make a play. Now gets it back, and he feeds it down the near corner boards. Kings have it, and they clear. Francis back to again get the puck. Comes slowly through center ice. Off the right wing board. Yager trying to take it in stride. He reaches out with that long reach. Still controlling the puck really on one leg. Goes around to the left point to Olsen. Back to Yager. 68. Hooks it over right side to Francis in front. He had Brown there. The pass beyond his reach. Brown behind the net. Wheel and deal. He was a center by trade in his career in his junior years and played some center in the National Hockey League.
He also played defense in junior. He played a lot of defense.
We'll go to the left side to Olsen. Center point. Francis backhanded around. Brown let it go. Blake takes the puck. He will whip it off the glass and out of the zone. Francis stops immediately to his own blue line. Off to Eddie Olczyk with a full head of steam. Here he comes. Rambling through to Marty Straka. 3-2 Los Angeles. Penguins power play running out 6 seconds to go. With it, Wareka tried to play it to an open man, and Jokinen read it well, and he blocked the pass.
You see the difference in the pressure and the time that the point men of the Penguins have. Not very much compared to the point men of the Los Angeles Kings.
Ball. Skating the play. Reaches in again. Can't come up with it. Yager's right back out here for the Penguins against Robitaille. Robitaille's upended. Yager never did come off on that power play. Well, he had. Off pass connecting to Marty Straka. Line through into the Kings zone. The pass intended for Alex Six. Leave it for Gary Falk. Los Angeles now moves it back outside of the line. Kings with the lead. Playing pretty smart hockey right now. Trying to work it back in. If we say, just leave the puck in behind Los Angeles net. Wrapped around to the near wing. Kings now. One of them tripped. Play will continue. Glenn Murray was upended by Gary Falk. Another trip here. One of the Penguins went down. That was Hatcher. Here come the Kings streaking through to the Penguins and Robitaille. A little backdoor pass. Jokinen in front. Quick shot by Murray. Stopped by goaltender Barrasso. Now a backhander by Robitaille. Boy, he got a lot on that shot. Good stop by Barrasso. Robitaille is such a deadly shooter from whatever angle he can muster, boy, and he got a lot of mustard on that backhand shot. Robitaille, good pass, left side, man open. Nordstrom shot blocked neatly by Hatcher, who gave his body up. I think he got a piece of it. Now Jokinen into the left wing side. The Kings buzzing like bees around a hive. Look out, Robitaille's in front. Penalty coming up here. And Hatcher gets to the puck. It'll be against the Penguins. It'll be a holding call. The Kings keeping the pressure on. We'll return. 3-2 Kings. Fox Sports Net.
Anything in life that's worth going after is worth saving for. And there's just one place to go for the best ways to save. At Mellon, we have a full range of investment and checking options for you to choose from. Right now, you can come to Mellon for a deal this good. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
It's a fully loaded citrus soda with carbos.
Luke Robitaille showing his creative side. Good backhand, little drop pass to Jokinen, and he saw Murray going to the net. Barrasso read that play in advance so beautifully and went diving across to make a save. Got back up, and then Robitaille turning with that backhander. Barrasso right back on his skates, ready for the shot, kicked it out, and then the penalty came after that. Jokinen again trying to get to that puck. And he is a guy who is very strong on the puck. You can see his ability there as he threw it across. Robitaille was unable to handle it in his skates, and then Tamer held Robitaille in the corner, and Garry Volk takes the penalty.
Volk gets the call, holding the stick to Garry Volk. And the Penguins shorthanded for the 5th time in the game. The Kings are 3 for 4 in the power play tonight. All 3 of their goals have come with a man advantage. The way this game has gone, don't be surprised if a shorthanded goal becomes part of this contest too. That's the way it's developing. Rushing through to center ice, and the Penguins chop it aside. Rob Blake in looking for it. Dish it down the right wing boards. Brad Smith going right to the net. He's there, and he shoots it. Barrasso stopped him and covers in around the goal area. Johansson and one of the Kings pushing and shoving around the net.
That's Smith, not a great skater, but he's an outstanding goal scorer. He was a tremendous goal scorer in the minors last year for the Florida Panthers. The Kings acquired him in hopes of adding some offense. He didn't really score a lot of goals for them, but he's had a good camp, and that time he was untouched as he came down the wing, swung around Kasparaitis behind him. Actually took that pass off the boards, and Barrasso just shut the post off on him and made the save. Look at that. Look at Kasparaitis colliding with one of his teammates in front of the net.
I said at times in the second period the Penguins have looked to be a little confused, trying to solve the Kings. The Kings have had the momentum and the upper hand. They've been able to score only once against the Penguins. They've outshot Pittsburgh now 15-11. Yuri Slager pressured by Robitaille. Comes into the slot area, jumping off a stick. Galley lost his blade. Get a new piece of timber from the bench. He's been the hot hand. You don't want to get it to him. Why not? He's got the puck with a new stick. Cross-rink pass to Rob Blake. Slap shot. That's deflected. Galley has figured in on all 3 goals for the Kings. Scored 2, and this assisted on a 3rd by Robitaille. Right now, that's a go-ahead goal. Jokinen dancing with that puck over to Blake. And I like his ability to hold on to the puck, and he just seems at ease right now. Jokinen near side, going to Robitaille. Robitaille appears to be inspired for this game. Jokinen looking, right point, Blake back to Jokinen, cross rink pass, dangerous, but up to Galley, and a shot blocked by Francis.
I think Robitaille must feel so comfortable in that Kings uniform again. He had all of his success, most of his success in this league, and his best years in hockey when he was a Los Angeles King. And he came to the Penguins and he performed well, and he went to the Rangers and was really a big disappointment. But you've got to figure that just being back in that Kings uniform is going to make Luc Robitaille feel a lot better. He feels at home again in Los Angeles. He spent 8 years with the Kings and was traded for Kevin Stevens, who I understand is playing pretty well for the Rangers too. He might feel at home getting back over here in the East and playing in this division, in this conference. One of the greatest goal scorers in the history of the game right there, Luc Robitaille.
Well, you saw again, there are a lot of players in this league in the forehand that can't shoot it as hard as he did on the backhand there with accuracy. But the great goal scorers have that knack to do that. And he was a late round draft choice, Luc Robitaille.
9th rounder.
Here is Philippe Boucher with a slap shot deflected. Kasparaitis trying to poke the puck ahead and out of the zone. Straka tried. He couldn't get it out. Kings keeps the pressure on here now. 9:45 to go in the second period. 3-2 Los Angeles, and Alex Hicks comes back on the 3-on-2 for the Penguins shorthanded. Hicks on the left side as a trailer. Orenka tried to tee it up, and he was taken out from behind. And here come the Kings on a 4-on-1 the other way. Ferraro dances his way to the Penguins end. Right side, Boucher left in front. It goes to Volpot, and he missed the net. And streaking to get back in the play was Straka, who was up in it. He was hurt, and the puck is knocked aside. But the Penguins had a 4-on-1 facing them, and they broke up that maneuver. Straka comes back very slowly and very gingerly as he skates towards the Penguin bench.
You see, Orenka was jumped from behind. That was a good defensive play, and then Straka and Orenka collided is what happened. That was Craig Johnson who came back and jumped on Orenka just as he was about to take that drop pass, and then Straka and Orenka colliding, and Marty really had to drag himself back to his skates and try to get back into the play. Meanwhile, at the other end, the Kings missed the net on a great scoring chance.
We missed a big chance there to take a 2-goal lead. I think that's the real story on this situation. Maybe we can look to see what developed on that play, because Ferraro carried it in. He's been prone tonight. Rarely do you see him. He's made some passes that have really been questionable here. Volpot on a 4-on-1 was open in the slot. I don't know if he expected that pass, but they never got anything at all on the net. Boy, when you get plays like that, a 4-on-1 going, and you're a coach sitting on the bench, and you're just shaking your head going, my goodness. Just don't have that many opportunities to given to you, put on the table there to take advantage of.
Well, Larry Robinson had an option last year. He could have walked away from his deal with the Kings if he wanted to. He had that in his contract that if he didn't want to continue, he could just walk away from the deal. But he wanted to stay the course, and Dave Taylor becoming GM, I think, made him feel a little bit better about what they might be able to do in the future. And I think the Kings are going to be a better club this year.
Oh, I do too. They're just drafting. As long as they hold on to the draft choices, I think they will become a better unit. Here, the penalty is over. Ball comes on. The Penguins raise their arms in joy. That's the Kings unable to score in the power play, so they are now 3-4-5 in the Manning County. As much as the Kings have had the upper hand, I think in the second period they still have the lead by only one. We'll be back in a moment. 3-2 Los Angeles.
Our friends at BP proudly present the
Why do I come out here? Because the playing field's level, but the stairs never are. Because if I can't get frost-brewed Coors Light to the fans cold, those guys in the Rockies froze their butts for nothing. So I scale concrete every night. Because somewhere there's a guy eating peanuts or some nachos, and he's thinking of me.
Coors Light! Coors Light!
Can lightweight aluminum cylinder heads enhance engine performance? Is it possible to see the future in a rear-view mirror? If race cars inspired us to use a double wishbone suspension, can you handle that? These are the questions. This is the answer. Dodge Stratus. Now get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% financing for up to 60 months.
You see Ron Francis now tied with Kevin Stevens for career points. And it's March 29th, 97, his 400th career goal. And probably many more highlights to come for Ron Francis.
It's 56, 55 assists away, I think, from 1,000 now. Right around the net, Facade gathers it in. Rossoff there. He has his first National Hockey League goal. Came in the first period in the 7:20 mark.
Well, during the commercial break, they honored Joey Mullen on the big board here to show one of his great moments. There's Eddie Johnston to the right of Craig Patrick, left on your screen. And, of course, Craig Patrick, big fan of Joe Mullen, and Joe Mullen is now going to work with the Penguins. They hired him today, and Patrick was telling us during the intermission, Mike, that if Peter Nedved plays a game, signs a deal and plays a game over there in the Czech Republic for a team over there, he would have to clear waivers over here before he could play again in the National Hockey League. So that's very interesting, and I wonder if Nedved will do what he says he's going to do and play with a team over there, and if he does that, that would mean that he would have to clear waivers.
On the left wing side, the Los Angeles Kings breaking out. Rob Blake shoots it back into the zone. 3-2 Los Angeles. 7:35 to go in the second period. Yager trying to get a handle on it. He can't. Kings shuffle it down the left side. McLean hit his skate as he comes over the bench. They're going to call them for an offside play. Apparently they will. You mean he has to clear waivers? Well, the Penguins have to put him on waivers if they.
No, he would have to. Yeah, he would have to go through waivers before he is able to rejoin the Penguins, which is kind of dangerous. I mean, somebody might try to claim him. That's what Craig was telling us during the break. And there's Joe Mullen, who will work in the front office for the Penguins. He's up there in the owner's box right now with Howard Baldwin. I believe Mario Lemieux is up there too, and Roger Marino. Mario said he was going to be here with those guys tonight.
Philippe Boucher, Los Angeles Kings defenseman. These two clubs have opened the season one other time. That was back in 1972. Penguins won that game 4-2 against Los Angeles. It's the 31st season for both these teams in the National Hockey League. Joseph Stumple holding the puck nicely to Boucher down the right side. Tapped in behind the Penguin net. Slager trying to take Mulger out of the action. Those two had a battle earlier, got major penalties, and they're back on the ice. They're out now. And they're trying to get the puck ahead. It does come into the Kings zone. Eddie Olczyk and the Penguins are offside.
The Kings are just beating the Penguins with the puck right now. They are just reacting quicker to situations than the Penguins are. And Deme was really fortunate that time because he was beaten to the puck, but then he was able to get in there and get possession of it and carry it out. Stan and Guy, your favorite sports talk team, are on Fox Sports Pittsburgh, weeknights at 7 o'clock. Sports Beat, your hometown show with a Fox attitude.
They got to be number one now. All the guys that have been working radio and talk shows are all leaving, all quitting.
Right in the middle of their shows.
Right. I'm out of here. Kicked out of the atmosphere by the Kings. Aki Berg. Straka rams him against the board. Another penalty coming up here. This one appears to be against the Kings. Robitaille to touch the puck, and it is against Los Angeles. A holding call against the Kings. We return in just a moment. The Kings lead 3-2. The Penguins will have the turkey on the table.
Wow, what happened?
My wisdom
He had
tooth.
his wisdom tooth pulled.
I
You
need
need
a
to have his
prescription
prescription filled. Sure. Stay here. I'm going to go do the rest of the
When you
show.
don't feel well, you can't rush all over town. That's why the drugstore at Giant Eagle has the latest technology to ensure proper treatment. It's open extended hours, 7 days a week. And to keep life simple, we accept over 300 prescription plans. It's comforting to know that a pharmacy this good is at your neighborhood Giant Eagle.
You take these. Have your wife drive.
Cookies and cream.
It takes a giant to make life simple.
Aki Berg gets 2 minutes for holding the stick at 13:36.
What's this? His third year, Aki Berg?
Been around for a while, believe it or not. He is, this is his 4th season with the Kings. He joined them at the end of if I'm not mistaken, Mike. I think he came in late. I may be wrong about that. Look it up.
Well, the Penguins trying to tie it up, and here's Yager right around the net. Jams it in towards Desai, who stops it. Francis back to the left point over to Hatcher. Penguins with just a dozen shots in this game. Up in front, Francis whirls it towards the net. The puck's free. Yager from Brown, and he just missed. Now Francis again back to gain possession. Snap it back behind the goal. Robbie Brown swinging with a stick, and the Kings captain Ron Blake trying to clear, couldn't. Hatcher right side to Olsen. Quick wrist shot block. Yager had it, lost it. And the Kings sneak it back inside the Penguin line. Rasso watches the scene. With the puck, Kevin Hatcher. Dump it off to Robbie Brown. Quickly, rink wide over to Freddie Olsen. Penguins trying to get the tying goal here. Yager bursting by a man, goes to Hatcher right in the slot. His wrist shot save, rebound, score! The Penguins get it home. Francis or Hatcher. The Penguins have tied it at 3. Oh, wow, big cow kick. Hatcher shot the puck. Francis reacting around that net, too, and I'm not sure who touched it last.
I'll tell you, it was a lot like the goal that Galley scored earlier, with Hatcher going to the net, getting his own rebound, and finding a way to get it back towards the goal, and it may have been Francis who just steered it inside the post as it came into the goal crease. Robbie Brown started the play in motion with a good pass, a good saucer pass to Freddie Olsen in the neutral zone. He came across the line, found Yager, who went to Hatcher, and then Hatcher, I think he just poked it home. I think he got the goal, and Francis was standing right in there. And they're going to review the goal, and I don't think Francis was in the crease. He was standing out on top of it here.
You'll see Francis basically screening goaltender Bissett.
And look at him looking down at his skates, purposely trying to stay out of that goal crease. He's not in there. He made a good effort there to make sure that he stayed on top of the crease as Hatcher steered the puck by him and into the goal.
That'll be a goal. They just waved it back from the officials' booth next door. Hatcher will get his second if it's to him. And the Penguins tie the game. So here they are, right back in it. If they score another power play goal, they're 2 for 5.
And the top goal scorers in the league are defensemen, Garry, Galley, and Kevin Hatcher.
Yager with his 3rd point. Well, that's just determination to get to that puck, and give Francis a lot of credit, because, I mean, you get battered. He got 2, the Kings right around him, on top of him, in front of that net. They were paying an awful lot of attention to him, and Francis helping out, just positioning his body to take the defenseman and the goaltender away from the puck so that Hatcher could put it in. Beautiful play. 3-3 the score. Really, that's the first excitement the Penguins have really had of any noteworthy mark at all during the second period. They had 4 shots on that scramble on that power play, and end up with a goal. He had really been basically shut down the entire period. Now they've made it a brand new hockey game. Another penalty coming up here. And the Kings guilty again. A holding call.
Brad Smith just tackled Kasparaitis as he chased him behind the net. And for a guy who's the knock that he's not a great skater, he was flying as he chased the Kasparaitis, but then he just reached out, grabbed a big chunk of his jersey, and hauled him off his skates.
No, Staggy, I know what's going to happen there. If they keep calling as many penalties as they are, people are going to say, look, the game is so slow. They're calling everything. They're calling everything. But you know, and you've seen it. You just watched 2 goals tonight where they outside the crease when the goals counted. They've learned. Players are smart enough to know they're not going to allow it anymore. So they're not going to be able to do it. If you keep enforcing it, keep it up, they will not do it. Eventually, they'll know they're going to go to the box. And I give them credit for trying in the preseason and trying now to enforce these rules and make them part of the game. We don't see it in world competition. Players are aware of it. You're not allowed to do it. So get smart. That's all. Get smart.
And the fact that they're doing it, I think, is kind of vindicates Mario Lemieux, who's sitting up there looking down right now and thinking, why weren't they doing this last year at the beginning of the year when I was playing my last season and wanted to score some points.
Rob Blake, the Kings. Not clear. The Penguins with an opportunity here to try and take the lead again. They led 2-0 in this contest. The Kings then scored the next 3 before the Penguins answered with a tying goal. Rasso settles in. The puck to Freddie Olsen. Penguin defenseman and point man. Outlet to Yager. Here to the near wing to Kevin Hatcher. Penguin defenseman deep on the play. He looks for the hat trick. Behind the net, Francis. Around to the far boards. At the right point to Olsen. Left side to Hatcher. He's got 2 goals. Olsen now back center point. Hooks it over. Back to Hatcher. Yager right in front. Off a stick. And carry him back to center. A minute to go in the penalty to the Kings. Smith. Olsen regrouping. Power play unit for the Penguins. Andy Brown leads the rush up. Roosevelt did not play on this power play. They're using Brown as a specialty player on it. Sneaking the puck behind. Brown let it go for Yager. Johnson races over. Now Galley has it. And he taps it onto center right.
Shots are 8-3 at one point in this period. They're now 8-7. The Kings have not had a shot. The Penguins have had 4 consecutive shots since that time. So they have kind of turned things around a little bit.
This has been a game that has gone back and forth with momentum. Right now it appears the Penguins have the upper hand here at the moment. Straka around to the right side. Marenka gets it to Straka. He sets it up with 4 seconds to go. Back to Straka. Right wing circle. Cuts in. Down deep. They put the puck around the net. Olchek would come up with it. Marenka. Smith comes on. The penalty is expired. Greg Johnson centering. Kasparaitis between the circle. Can't tee it up. Straka continues to work. And the Penguins have the upper hand here. Holding like bees around a hive again. Greg Johnson. Olchek and Straka go in. The Penguins beat the Kings of the puck now. And it's Straka and the penalty, or not a penalty, but the net's dislodged. And we return in a moment. Penguins 3, the Kings 3.
I've been vending Coors Light for a long time. It's who I am. At home, it's, hey, beer man, pass the peas. When the mail comes, it says, hey, beer man, you may have won $10 million. Being the beer man's a wonderful thing. People know Frost Brewed Refreshment. They're always happy to see me, and I'm recognized wherever I go.
Hey, beer man.
Hey, bobbinhead doll man. Coors Light! Coors Light!
How do you make a Dodge Neon go even faster? Offer $1,500 cash back. Or low financing for 60 months that can save you a bundle. So before this offer ends, step on it to the friendly Dodge dealer near you. How easy is it to buy a new Dodge Stratus? Just pick A or B, which can save you a bundle over 60 months. A or B, B or A. Hey, whichever one you choose, you win at the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Welcome back to Fox Sports Pittsburgh, part of the Fox Sports Net, and our coverage of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, the Penguins worked really hard on that last shift to keep the puck in deep. There's Mario with Howard Baldwin. And the Kings D were working just as hard to keep them from making a play in front of the net.
Who that was putting his fingers on top of Joey's head?
It was Mario.
That's right.
Yep. I thought so. I saw that big hand come in there. It looked like
I knew it came from that angle.
Yep. Well, the penalty to Berg cost the Kings, and the Penguins able to tie it on the power play. And we're back to almost even in shots again. This is a seesaw battle.
Yep. Pittsburgh 2 for 6 on the power play. The Kings 3 for 5. Brasso, the Penguin goaltender, flipping around to the far boards. Hicks and to kick that puck out. He can't do it. Robitaille putting pressure on, so it's Wright, Hicks, and Balk out against the Kings line here. Mulder, Ferraro, and Robitaille. Different change for the Kings.
Let's go, hands down. Let go.
Ferraro's dumped off the skates by Tyler Wright. Gets him along the boards as Wright clears the puck to center circle. Mattias Nordstrom, the Kings defenseman, bounces to the net. Brasso scoops it up with the right hand and comes up with it. Ferraro and Casper Wright is pushing and shoving. Now we're going to battle the backups here on the far side. And Boucher gets involved in the far wing with Alex Hicks.
I'll give you one player. I think it was Tyler Wright who got things rolling, wasn't it? Maybe not. Might have been Hicks.
Boucher and Hicks will be separated.
Boucher's been pretty physical in this game right from the start, hasn't he?
Like Philip Boucher. The time he was with Buffalo.
He can really shoot the puck, although I heard last year that he had an injury that really affected his shot. When he first came into the league, he had a bomb, and then he had a wrist or a hand problem, I believe, Mike, that has prevented him from shooting the puck the way he used to. Well, next TV game here on Fox Sports Pittsburgh, Friday night at Carolina. The Penguins will play the Hurricanes down there in Greensboro. And coverage starts with Fox Sports News at 6:30. And that'll be the opener there for the Hurricanes. So the Penguins will be down there for another opener and all that excitement that goes along with it. Former Hartford Whalers. And it'll be interesting to see how the Penguins play in the third period of this game under Kevin Constantine, because as Mike was talking earlier about the conditioning, just to see if the Penguins can maintain or even elevate their game another notch as they go to the last 20 minutes. You just have to see his practices to believe him. The way he organizes things, he makes the most use of time and the people that he has at his disposal on a given practice. It's amazing, and he really delegates authority very extremely well. He's got Troy Ward to help him out with penalty killing, Rick Keogh working on the power play, Don Jackson and Mike Eves on the bench with him. Each one of those guys runs their own drills at a given practice. And there's a real efficiency to everything. You never see anybody standing around for a long period of time. They go to the board, draw it up on the grease board, as it's called, and away they go with their drills.
A loss for the delay here. I mean, both Hicks and Boucher have been ushered to their respective dressing rooms. We've had a long delay here.
2 minutes for roughing. Pittsburgh penalties, number 33, Alex Hicks. 2 minutes for high sticking. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 18:02.
Boucher 2 for slashing, 2 for roughing, and Hicks 2 for high sticking, 2 for roughing. We're back now to finish up the final 2 minutes of play here in this second period. Game tied at 3. Went ahead on Robitaille's power play goal. The Penguins answered and won by Kevin Hatcher, his second of the evening. Up off the wing, and Ferraro pokes it back into the corner. Hatcher scrambling to get to it. Eddie Olczyk, the Penguin winger, whip it up to center ice. A jogger 1-on-1 against Blake, but he can't control the puck. He has to go and do that now. Along the right wing boards, looks for someone to pass to. Robitaille running well and steals. Luke Robitaille, little shuffle pass ahead to Sandy Moger of the Kings. Work his way into the Penguins end. Francis stopped that maneuver. Down to 1:18 to go. Galley went hopping over the boards to prevent too many men on the ice penalty. Francis is upended. The Kings have the puck. And they will shoot it in to kill some time here and allowing new troops to come on. This will be Warenka, the Penguin defenseman. Kevin Constantine said Warenka was the biggest surprise on defense in training camp. That yesterday. Straka offensively. Considered Straka to be the best player overall that he saw in camp. two-way stand. Beaupont off the left wing side. Less than a minute to go. And here's Aki Berg shooting deflected. And Barrasso scrambling. He watches that one go off to the far side. And the Penguins do get it out of their own end. Tense moment there as the Kings almost took the lead again. Puck lifted out of action, and we get a stop and play. 35.1 time left in the period.
I don't really think you always understand or take into consideration just how much Tom Barrasso's ability to handle the puck can help the Penguins in their own zone. It's a huge asset that he has and that he gives the Penguin defense. He has been handling it quite a bit here tonight, too. It's a dimension that I think the weaker a team is defensively in terms of being able to get the puck out of their own end, the more valuable Tom Barrasso is to that team.
Second intermission, Guy Junker is going to be on board to recap this period and scores around the National Hockey League. Our Fox studios, is that correct? No, he's going to be right here. He's right here. Up to date on what's going on. Tyler Wright giving the puck to Freddie Olesen in 20 seconds now left here in the period. Ready to go into the third period, looking for a break. Open in front of that wrist shot from 40 feet. Missed off line right in front. He just missed there on the attempted play in the slot. And the period comes to a close. Well, the score at the end of the second period, the Pittsburgh Penguins 3, the Los Angeles Kings 3. Stay tuned to Fox Sports Pittsburgh for the Tribune Review of Sports Extra and Guy Junker. That's coming up next.
From Oliver Stone comes a movie about sex.
Here, I made you all hot and sweaty.
Murder.
Would you kill her? Kill him. Kill her.
Betrayal.
You think you can take the money and dump me?
And everything else that makes life worth living.
You think bad, then bad's what you get.
Sean Penn, Jennifer Lopez, and Nick Nolte. U-Turn.
Is everybody in this town on drugs?
Rated R. Opens everywhere Friday.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 16. Larry, our battery expert. Larry installs more Autocraft batteries in a day than most people do in a lifetime. No matter what you drive, Larry will make sure you get the right battery for your car.
92 Accord?
Yeah.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Before you buy a digital wireless phone, Bell Atlantic Mobile wants you to ask this simple question. Does it work just about everywhere? Does it work here? And out here? Does your phone sound clear here? The fact is, on the East Coast, nobody has more digital coverage with the most advanced digital technology than we do. A cell phone is only as good as the network it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
Feel the cold chill skating up your spine. It's a new ice age. These penguins are flying. A new cold war is about to be waged. Get fired up for the new ice age. They're smashing, they're crashing, they're turning up the heat. There's fire in their eyes, grab a hold of your seat. These birds are hungry, keep away from their cage. Get fired up for the new ice age.
Get your tickets now for the Pens opener October 1st and the Pens versus the Panthers October 4th.
Get fired up!
Hey, you want to see some cool shots?
The coolest game on earth is bringing you the hottest half hour on television. NHL Cool Shots showcases the game's brightest stars on and off the ice.
Pretty cool, huh?
It's your all-access pass to the NHL as Cool Shots takes you behind the scenes and into the game as you've never seen before.
Here we go, Silly. Come on, baby. Come on, buddy. Wow.
NHL Cool Shots, presented by Powerade. Every Tuesday, check your local listings.
You're watching Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
Been an interesting evening so far at the Civic Arena. 5 of the 6 goals scored on the power play between the Penguins and the Kings, and it's a 3-3 second period tie. It was 2-2 after 1, and we talk about the power play. Did not take the Kings long to get another power play goal early in the third period. It would be their first lead of the game. They scored 2 power play goals late in the first to tie it at 2, and then the Kings took their first lead when Luke Robitaille deflects a shot by Garry Galley. Penguins are glad Garry Galley's no longer in their division. He played for Buffalo last year. He has 3 points in this game, and they were 3 for 4 in the power play at that point. But the Penguins would tie it with a power play goal of their own, the second power play goal of the evening for Kevin Hatcher. Jaromir Jagr fed him, and he picked up his own rebound. And Kevin Hatcher has 2 power play goals. Jagr in with 3 assists, and it's 3-3 as we head to the third period. It might not be 3-3 if Tom Barrasso didn't come up with some big saves in that second period. One flurry in particular. 2 former Penguins had golden opportunities. You see Robitaille with a backhanded pass. Glenn Murray with a chance. A great save by Barrasso there. The Kings were buzzing. Robitaille would get a shot on the backhander, but Barrasso equaled to the occasion, stayed on his feet, and stopped that one there too. It's the Tribune Review's second period report. The Pens and Kings are tied at 3 apiece. Opening night at the Civic Arena. We'll be back with some highlights and scores from other games after these messages.
It'll make your heartbeat race. The Cash for Cars giveaway. You could win this. Or this. Or if you're really lucky, 20 grand toward a new car.
You're a winner. Wow. You're a winner. Wow.
For details, read the new Steel City Auto tab. Everything about cars, every Wednesday in these papers.
Beautiful new car.
The Cash for Cars giveaway. 0 to 20 G's. In 8 weeks flat.
Enter now.
So your mother says go to Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. So here I am.
Here you are. Severe weather paint. See, it'll resist peeling and mildew.
Oh, my mortgage is up?
That's right. It's guaranteed to take 15 years of wind, rain, you name it. Even
A tall ladder?
One coat's all you need, so you won't spend that much time on top.
This low price.
Why do you think we're called Lowe's?
Now I can take on any project.
Yeah, will we ever finish one?
When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows.
Over the years, I've been hit just about everywhere. And I gotta tell you, I don't like it. But there's one place I especially don't like getting hit. That's the wallet. If you feel the same, then hurry down to Meineke. Because now, for a limited time, when you buy new brakes at Meineke, you'll get half off Rebesta's premium lifetime pads and shoes. This is a limited time offer, so you better hurry. I'm all for saving a few dollars. For example, I don't pay my sparring partner much, but I do feed him pretty well.
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
I believe in the power of the beer vendor. That one man with one beer born in the Rockies can refresh thousands. I believe in the perfect pour. Frost Brewing. Cold beer, warm heart. I believe that the 3 most important words on earth are hay, beer, man. That if a vendor can't get you your Coors Light at its ultimate refreshment level, it's a darn shame. And I believe in comfortable shoes.
Well, the Penguins are calling it the new Ice Age, and this little cutie pie is going to be here to see it begin. Welcome back to the Civic Arena for the Tribune Review Sports Extra second period intermission report. It's opening night in the NHL with the Penguins starting at 7. They actually played the first game, had the first puck drop and the first goal, but there are 10 games going on league-wide tonight. Opening night, we want to show you highlights from some of them. First off, let's take a little trip to where the Carolina Hurricanes are playing their first game ever at Tampa Bay. Former Penguin John Cullen, battling cancer, drops the first puck. Dino Ciccarelli, the ageless one, scores unassisted at 7:01 to make it 1-0 Tampa. Still in the first, Mikael Renberg from Ciccarelli, and Brian Bradley scores at the 15:40 mark, 2-0. Kevin Dineen would get the first goal in Hurricane history. It's 2-1 in the second. Florida at Philly. Philly led 1-0 when Rob Niedermeyer got one from the Ratman Scott Mellenby at 11:41, beating Ron Hextall to tie it at 1. Still in the first, watch John Van Beesbrook, the Beezer, robbing Eric Lindros from right in front. The game tied 1-1 in the second period. Washington visiting Toronto tonight, 1-0 Capitals. Joe Ricci gives the Capitals a 2-0 lead. beating Felix Potvin. Still in the first, Toronto scores Igor Korolev from Mike Johnson and Wendell Clark at 9:16. But Joey Junot from Adam Oates and Calle Johansson at 12:22 made it 3-1 Capitals. It's now 4-1 in the second period. The Capitals having a good time on opening night at the only building older than the Civic Arena, and that would be Maple Leaf Gardens. The Penguins have opened against the LA Kings only one other time in their history. That was in 1972. The Penguins won that debut game, and we're hoping they're able to pull it out here in the third period. It's 3-3 here at the Civic Arena. 3 power play goals for Los Angeles, 2 of the Penguins' goals on the power play. The Penguins' power play obviously working well, but their penalty killing leaving a little bit to be desired. Kevin Constantine admits that they did not work a whole lot on special teams during training camp as everyone was getting their feet wet and they were evaluating talent. So half the special teams looking good, half not. Hopefully the third period will pull out a game winner for the Penguins. It's 3-3. We'll be back with third period action in a couple of minutes.
While riding in my car one day,
October 4th.
Get fired up!
So you call yourselves the stars of hockey?
That's right.
Let me get this straight. When somebody gets checked really hard, you guys pop up and circle around their helmets.
Yeah, sounds easy, but sometimes we have to run out there 30, 40 times a game. Take a look at the monitor. Boom! See that? We were in perfect formation. We had to run around that guy for 15 minutes.
The Pens are back and headed down south to battle the all-new Hurricane.
He shoots and scores.
Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. Be glad you're just watching. You're watching Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
Trays are wild at the Civic Arena. We're headed to the third period. The Kings have scored 3 times. The Penguins have scored 3 times. Mike and Paul back to call the action right after this.
How do you make a Dodge Neon go even faster? Offer $1,500 cash back. Or low financing for 60 months that can save you a bundle. So before this offer ends, step on it to the friendly Dodge dealer near you. How easy is it to buy a new Dodge Stratus? Just pick A or B, which can save you a bundle over 60 months. A or B, B or A. Hey, whichever one you choose, you win at the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness love.
Now, what shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
Travel provided by U.S. Airways, offering daily nonstop service from Pittsburgh to Frankfurt and connecting service to Paris, Rome, Madrid, and Munich. U.S. Airways to Europe.
College football Saturday shoots for the end zone on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. It's a battle in the Big Ten when the Michigan Wolverines leave the Big House to take on the Hoosiers of Indiana. Saturday on Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
Feel the cold chill skating up your spine. It's a new ice age. These penguins are flying. A new cold war is about to be waged. Get fired up for the new ice age. They're smashing, they're crashing, they're turning up the heat. There's fire in their eyes, grab a hold of your seat. These birds are hungry, keep away from their cage. Get fired up for the new ice age.
Get your tickets now for the Pens opener October 1st and the Pens versus the Panthers October 4th.
Get fired up!
So you call yourselves the stars of hockey?
That's right.
Let me get this straight. When somebody gets checked really hard, you guys pop up and circle around their helmets.
Yeah, sounds easy, but sometimes we have to run out there 30, 40 times a game. Take a look at the monitor. Boom! See that? We were in perfect formation. We had to run around that guy for 15 minutes.
The Pens are back and headed down south to battle the all-new Hurricane.
He shoots and scores.
Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. Be glad you're just watching. You're watching Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
Pens assistant coach Don Jackson with us. Don, the Penguins in the second period really were kind of backpedaling a little bit, and they got a little life and got the tying goal. What are we looking for in the third period?
Well, the obvious thing, of course, is that the power plays have been the things that have been the difference in the game. 5 of 6 goals have been on the power play. So now we want to make sure that we play in their end of the rink, because of the fact that in your defensive zone is where you draw the penalties. So we want to draw the penalties in their zone. That's where they get the penalties, and we want to have a consistent forecheck. We want to be real patient and make sure we protect the ice in the middle of the ice real well.
We'll look for that. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
All right, we appreciate it. Here are the stats after 2 periods.
Half of the shots for the Kings have come on the power play. They have definitely made good use of it. The Penguins have outscored them in even strength. 1-0. That was the first goal of the game. Second goal, I beg your pardon. The first goal of the season for Alexei Morozov. Him and Hatcher with a pair for the Pens.
And we are tied 3-3 as we get ready for the third period. Penguins Hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Original Coors, pure and simple, the last real beer. By Pizza Outlet, the taste that screams fresh. And by Jeep and Eagle. There's only one Jeep, and it's at your All-Star Jeep and Eagle dealers. See what the stat sheet says there, Steggy. We have the stats up. Shots on goal. Brownie with 3 for the Penguins, and Kevin Hatcher with 3. Galley with 4 shots, 2 goals, an assist. Jaromir Jagr quietly has a 3-point night. He's figured in on all 3 Penguin goals. So we get ready for the third period. Tied after 2 periods last year. The Penguins were 9-7. You'll see Boucher, the Kings defenseman, and Hicks of Pittsburgh will be in there. And we begin play in the third. Olli Jokinen playing center ice here with Luke Robitaille and Glenn Murray. The puck is flipped back into the Kings end, and reaching forward will be Rob Blake, and immediately an icing call. Blake went back, took offense to the fact that the Penguins came in, and
that was Alexei Morozov who did that. Ron Francis was telling an interesting story last night, Mike, about, he said, you know, you can't communicate with a guy if he can't understand English, then you can't even like say something to him like heads up. Somebody's behind you if he's about to get your head taken off. So those are the tough things about having a guy who can't speak English on a line with you. He said it's probably the first time last Saturday when he played at Philadelphia, it was the first time in his career that he played an entire game without saying anything to the guy that was playing on the wing with him, because he just knows he doesn't understand English. It's a waste of time.
What a blessing that was for Alexei. Just kidding. He may never learn to speak English. Well, one thing he will do, he will learn it very quickly with Francis and Jagr.
I was going to say, it's too bad for the referees. They're not rushing.
Yeah, that's right. Here is Francis leading the way back to center ice. Jagr gets possession of the puck, and will be at his mercy now. You know that for the next few days. Robitaille off to Jokinen, looks to shoot it, and that's deflected. Varenka takes the biscuit around the boards to the near side to Jaromir Jagr. Francis pushing the puck ahead, and Glenn Murray reaches in, got a piece of it, and the puck on to the right side to Jokinen.
Good thing Morozov keeps his head up, Mike. He almost got killed there at the blue line coming across.
Robbie Brown up and off the near boards. Forgive me if I'm not mistaken, though. The Russians still play the system where if the puck crosses the line on an icing play, Maggie, the whistle blows immediately. So you have to look at his situation of not anticipating maybe that was going to be the situation. Here to the near wing, and the Los Angeles Kings and Penguins tied at 3, and after the puck will be Aki Berg. Brown rattles him with a hard shoulder check. The Kings have the puck. They'll whip it ahead down the left side, and they will sail into Pittsburgh territory. Freddie Olsen hanging off the glass. Up off the window, the center. The Penguins take it in stride. Good play by Olczyk to take him out of it. Over to Straka. Look out, the Brown. He just missed. Well, that was a powerful shot by Robbie Brown. Late on the shift, too. He just missed on that far post. 3-3 the score here early in period number 3. Kings overskate the puck. The Penguins break out again with an opportunity down the right side with good speed. Here comes Greg Johnson, and the whistle sounds. We've got to stop and play.
Eddie Olczyk was ahead of the play on the left side, offside.
That negates the play. There's one difference I see in the arena this year. The scoreboard, what do they call those things that hang down from the top of the arena? They cover the clock this side. It's hard to see the time on the clock. I'll have to look a different spot.
Watch Brownie here. He knows that puck's coming, and he's ready. He cocks the gun and fires, and just missed on the far side on Fisset. And we've seen Rob Brown drive pucks into the net in that very situation many times when he was here in the late 80s. Mario Lemieux just setting it up on a table for him, and he would just gun that puck into the net.
Yannick Perreault takes over at center now with Sandy Mulger and Roman Volpot. Just shuffled some lines around here in this game. Harry Robinson have moved Wilkin in and out. Different units. Of course, we have seen a lot of special teams play. That maybe a reason for part of it. Chris Tamer sending it in behind the Penguin net. Just over 2 minutes elapsed here in period number 3. Penguins and the Los Angeles Kings are tied at 3. And off the stick of goaltender Fisset. Had his head down looking for the puck. He took a bump from Perreault around to the far wing, and the Penguins digging in for it. They can't come up with it. The Kings do. They'll gain possession. Perreault skating with the puck into the Penguins' end. Puts the brakes on. Lifted to the right wing corner after it balked, but the Kings get there first, and they have the puck. Around it goes to Perreault. It was hammered by Greg Johnson from behind. Nothing called. Loose puck just flips wide to the Penguin goal. High stick on that puck, and Tyler Wright comes up with it. It was a King who put the high blade on it. Johnson through traffic, took a knee from O'Donnell and goes off the skates. A penalty coming up against Sean O'Donnell, who turns around in dismay to look at the referee, Mark Fawcett. And boy, the way the game has gone, these power plays are a big part of the game. We'll be back in a moment.
This is a great call by Mark Fawcett, one you had to make. Watch O'Donnell, his right leg comes back and trips Greg Johnson as he was busting towards that puck in the neutral zone. So O'Donnell goes off for tripping at 2:57, and the Penguins with a chance to regain the lead.
7th power play opportunity for the Penguins here. 2 for 6 on the night. If they can maintain that percentage, they'd take that all year long, 33%. But they wouldn't want to take the penalty killing right now. The Kings are 3 for 5. And that's a 2-line offside pass. Well, that brings the face-off back inside the Penguin blue line. Actually a little further in than what was normally the case. This will be the top of the circle. That guy's feeling nervous. Yeah, I don't care what you say. I mean, you go to the opening game on a regular season when it means something. The nerves and the butterflies start to come for everybody. I know they did for you tonight, Steggy.
They always do.
I know. You were.
It's like riding a bike.
You were in disarray though for a while, Steggy. You were saying, "I'm running out of time," but you did it, Steggy. You're back on the bike. You're rolling again. You don't look another day older. Olson works the power play with Hatcher. Francis now employed down low with Brown and Yager. Yager streaking through. He's had a ton of game-winning goals in his short NHL career, Jaromir Yager. Beautiful little deflection by Francis to Yager. Booming slap shot. He got to go in a hurry. Blake knocked him down and he missed the cage. Olson with 1:03 to go. You look for a big play man. You look to Yager here in this situation. Let's see what happens. Yager, cross rink. He's been a part of all 3 Penguin goals. Olson behind the net to Francis. Over to Yager. Back to Ronnie. They'll look it over. Brown goes in front of the net. Oh, he was there. Comes right side to Olsen. Goes on the left side to Yager. Shooting it for save. Read it well. Came across and stopped the powerful Penguin right winger, Jaromir Jagr.
Fischer has been really good tonight in his lateral movement, getting from one side to the other, reading the play, anticipating, and basically arriving in position before the puck gets there so that he makes the saves.
And he's been effortless in doing it. I mean, he hasn't made it look like, he has just been very fundamental in the way he's done it.
He comes across here in that butterfly style, but he's upright, which is really, the key to why he stops Jagr here. He doesn't come flopping across. He comes over in the butterfly position, stays up.
That's good goaltending. It really is. And Jagr went where good goal scorers go, up high. They tell you time and time again, you want to score goals, go high in this league. Well, that time Fischer was just a little better. Kasparaitis over to Warenko, takes over the point position now. Kasparaitis comes off to a score to goal, giving it center point. Warenko fakes that shot. Goes to Kasparaitis in front for Olczyk. The puck rolls up, gets a shot going. It's stopped by Fischer. And he comes out and reaches with a left hand and comes up with it.
Eddie O is like the nicest guy in the world. You see what he did there, just tapping Morozov on the helmet. That's Eddie O. That's his personality. He's one of the most affable people I've ever met in anywhere in life, not just in hockey. Look at that pass he made there, a beauty to Morozov. And again, Fischer reading the play beautifully to get over there.
That goal would not have counted if Morozov would have put it in, though, because Eddie O's skate was in the crease. It would not have counted. We'll worry about it later. Here with 27 seconds to go on the penalty. Straka talking to Kasparaitis.
Kasparaitis translating.
Digging away in the left wing corner. Former King. Over to the near side. Game is tied at 3. Straka, 7 seconds to go on the power play. Warenko comes with that puck skating across. Back out of Straka and he couldn't hold it. They takes him out of the action. He'll reach in and try and get it again. Check made a play. Morozov reached for it, but Allen knocks him down as he comes out of the penalty box. The penalty expired. The Penguins failed to score on that power play. They're now 2-4-7. Morozov almost had his head cut off that time, too, as he came down ice. You will have to be aware in this league. He was able to do so. He kind of read it and just backed off. They will line you up and they will make you pay the price if you come down thinking about the puck before you are really what's going on the ice. Racing through to the Kings in, overplayed, overskated it. Slager's going to tap it back in behind the Los Angeles net. Matthias Nordstrom. Game tied at 3. Just over 5 minutes elapsed here in the third period. The Kings have the puck.
Tamer's skating much better right now than he did at any time towards the end of last year. You just see right there that little move he made there to the boards.
Next gains the slot area, but he can't pull the trigger as Robitaille and Nikolai, I think, was trying to draw a penalty, and Fawcett read that play. Robitaille's outlet pass up to Brad Smith. He's a big rugged winger, Brad Smith. He just kind of rambles his way through people. Pushes and shoves, gets in on the net area. Berg with a shot. That's Barrasso making the save. O'Donnell pulling back, backpedaling. Goes to Hockey Berg, the Kings defenseman. In Greensboro, North Carolina on Friday night, the Penguins against the Carolina Hurricanes. Hartford Whalers unit. And Saturday night, Florida will be here. We'll return in a moment. Game tied at 3 here in Pittsburgh.
Things sure have changed around here since Tom switched his gas station over to Gulf. Old Ed used to drive to the next town over just to get that good Gulf gasoline he grew up with. Ruth Ann says money experts recommend the Gulf MasterCard over most other credit cards. So now folks just fly right in, pay at the pump, and earn free gas. We still offer that good old-fashioned service. Gulf just made buying gasoline faster for people who don't have as much time on their hands.
Today is your typical 9-to-5, dinner with the kids kind of day. It's a day like all the others. Except that you just helped 62,000 elderly people stay active and independent. Pretty nice, huh? You can touch more lives in more ways when you do just one thing. Give to United Way.
Well, great to have Giant Eagle along with us this year, and along with Giant Eagle comes that scoring contest, very similar to the home run hitters contest that they do in baseball. You just send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Fox Sports Pittsburgh, and contestants will be selected before each game. If the Penguins score during the selected periods, a Giant Eagle gift certificate for $50 will be awarded. If the Pens do not score, a consolation prize of $10 will be awarded. Giant Eagle scoring contest.
We need some help, so you got to send some entries in. We need your help. Barrasso stopping a long shot. Kings have outshot the Penguins 19-18 in this game. The game is tied at 3. The Kings have scored 3 power play goals. The Penguins have scored 2. Pretty even, huh?
You look back to the middle of the second period, those saves that Barrasso made in that one flurry where he stopped Glenn Murray on a sprawling to his right, and then Luke Robitaille with that backhand shot. 2 gigantic saves that gave the Penguins an opportunity to tie this game. You got to get those key saves. You never know when they're going to happen, but they may have been the key saves in this game before it's all over.
And they couldn't reach in and get command of the puck, and the Penguins have to go back to their own blue line and set up shop. Look at the play, but he dumps it into the Kings in. Around to the near side of Joseph Stumble. Stumbling was Castoritis to regain his balance and didn't see what happened to him. Now he comes up, Lopot, and he collide. And Sean O'Donnell takes the puck for the Kings, and he'll wind it into the Penguins in. Barrasso giving the puck to Olofsson, who turns it to Castoritis in a hurry. A lot of action going away from the puck. Lopot and Johansson having words now in front of their respective benches. 12 and a half left in the third period in regulation. O'Donnell sliding up the left wing, reaching in to try and take the puck. Kings Craig Johnson. Drew banging away to the Penguin zone. Varenko defensively for Pittsburgh. Around to the near side. The Penguins systematically put it up ahead to center, and it's across 2 lines. And that stops the play. Here in Pittsburgh at the Civic Arena, the Penguins and the Kings are tied at 3 on Fox Sports Net.
I think American healthcare has a great future. I'm Arthur Leibowitz, and I'm Chief Medical Officer for Aetna U.S. Healthcare. People should expect that their healthcare company will give them the opportunity to get the care that they need. When somebody has an Aetna U.S. Healthcare membership card in their wallet, they should feel secure. They should know that behind them is a company absolutely committed to make sure they get the best care. Quality of care is the most important thing to us.
U.S. Healthcare. You'll feel better with us.
To cancer, this is the face of adversity. It belongs to Dr. Mark Rowe. He fights cancer by surrounding it, combining radiation, chemotherapy, freezing, and surgery. He's giving people some place to turn when they thought none was left. And he's changing the rules of war, because if cancer doesn't fight fair, why should we? Allegheny General, advancing the frontier of medicine. The only Pittsburgh hospital rated among America's best in cancer care by U.S. News and World Report.
Boy, that's fancy, isn't it?
That big blimp?
Yeah.
The dirigible, the Fox dirigible. This is our Lowe's trivia question. Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse asks, Patrick Lalime was the second Penguins rookie goalie to win 20 games. Who was the first?
Right from the face-off, the Kings win another draw and almost had a chance to take the lead. That's deflected wide of the Penguin goal, and reaching in for it now will be Kevin Hatcher. He has 2 of the 3 Penguin goals tonight. Pressured by Sandy Mulger, but Francis over to clean up his own end. Don Jackson, the assistant coach of the Penguins, and the Penguins will have to play very smart hockey, wait for a possible break, and that's what they've been doing here in this third period. Both these clubs have. They both had a couple of chances to try and take the lead. Ferraro swinging in behind his own net to defenseman Rob Blake. Johnson just taps it in. Kings go to their change-up move. Brown. It's off Sprocket's blade into the King zone. Jokinen Whips it around to the right wing side. Olson of Pittsburgh push it down the near boards. The Penguins after it. Straka hustling. Hit on the play. Brown turning to center. And he made a nice play there, but the Kings were there defensively to break it up. Kings general manager this year is Dave Taylor. There are 10. Here's Straka coming down the left side, shooting the puck right on. Passay had trouble with it. Now reaches and grabs the rebound. There are 10 new coaches in the league this year, and 7 new general managers. Some people that have moved around, but those are the numbers, including that man right there. There are 4 new coaches in the Northeast.
Kevin Constantine, I think he realizes and has said actually that there were probably some things that he did in San Jose that he won't do now just because of experience. You see Robbie Brown being checked to the ice by Matthias Nordstrom as he tried to get in there for the rebound. And Kevin said it's like a young person. They want to do everything right now. They want everything to happen right away. And he said as you get older, you realize that you have to be patient. And those are the parents of Kevin Constantine right there in the stands watching their son guide the Penguin ship.
Penguins threaten again right in front of Olczyk, trying to bank it in. He can't do it. Off the left side, Chris Tamer. Penguin defenseman behind the net here with open space to work with. Drake Johnson, but he drags it around to the near board. Back behind the goal it goes to Eddie Olczyk. O'Donnell smothers him. Trying to pick up the mail. Goes to the left point. That's intercepted by Glenn Murray of the Kings. The Kings just swing it back into the Penguins' end as they dump it in. Work behind the net. Off to Robitaille, misfire. Joseph Stumple. Stumple's a bigger player than I remember him being. He looks big in the Kings uniform. I've seen him for a few years. Blistering shot from the right point. Barrasso denies that. We haven't seen Garry Galley for a while, have we?
We'll see who hops on the ice now. Rob Blake is out here, and he's been playing with Galley.
Yes, we have him out now.
There he is.
There he is. Rob Blake.
Remember, Deme tried to get the puck out on that last shift. He put it up off the glass and couldn't get it out, and the Kings held it in and got the shot to the net. Barrasso freezing it.
Well, Garry Galley has scored 2 for the Kings here tonight and added an assist.
Ron Francis, with the absence of Peter Nedved, called upon even more than he was the last couple of years to take important faceoffs.
Penguins without Stu Barnes there tonight. He's under suspension from the league for this game and Friday. It's involving Joe Thornton of the Boston Bruins. He's not in uniform. Ian Moran out for the Penguins. Stoyanov also on the shelf with an injury. Suda. For the Penguins. Did you say he's going to be?
They're going to assign him. Yeah, Craig wasn't clear between periods on where he's going to go, so he hasn't decided yet, or they haven't determined that as yet.
Yager trying to get to the puck. He is slowed enough on the check by Ferraro from behind. And the puck is out of play, and we get a stop in action. 9:28 left here in the third period.
Jaromir Jagr finished 6th in scoring last year with 95 points. He had 149 points in 95-96. Only 5 players in the history of the game have scored more points than Jagr did 2 years ago.
Here's an assignment for you, Chase. I looked up the career for Jagr. Goals per game, .53. Of course, Lemieux is the all-time leader in the National Hockey League in the history books. He's 8.5 or 8.6 in that category, right around there. They might have that in the book. Did you figure out the last 4 years for Jaromir Jagr for me? Goals per game? Yep. Just the last 4 years, because the first couple, he really didn't see a whole lot of ice time and a lot of action under Bob Johnson and the way he was tutored into the league, and he started when he was 18. I'm just curious his percentage and what he's scoring per game over the last 4 years. Just over a half a goal right now for his career. 500 games already. It does go fast. Gasparitis. Pass it with everybody. We haven't had a whole lot of icing calls here tonight. A couple in the first period, so the play has been pretty good. But you can really get the feel here that both these clubs are just trying to play very, very tight defensively and not make a mistake and hope that one goes their way. You know, a crazy bounce or something happens where they get the 2-on-1 and possibly win this hockey game. That's what it looks like.
And now, you know, you had all those special team situations and teams being very careful not to take penalties at this point. Put their team in a situation where that power play could cost you again and cost you the hockey game ultimately.
Face-off very important, but particularly now as we wind it down in the third period. Jokinen using his leg to move the puck to the right point. Backhanded towards the goal. The Penguins stop that maneuver. Johansson, Straka, and Robbie Brown is the trio out here for Kevin Constantine.
I've been impressed with Robbie Brown's play away from the puck tonight. He's done a couple of times. He's stepped in front of players just to allow a teammate to handle the puck, doing little things like that that, you know, I guess you learn over the course of your career. But he's doing things that probably he didn't do when he first came into the league, and coaches probably might have criticized him for that. But he does a lot of little things right now.
What a pretty pass that was. Up ahead now to Johansson. Doesn't shoot it. Tries now, and he's way offline. Williams probably should have taken that shot right there. Instead of trying to make one more move, which ended up really with a result of nothing on the net. Here to the near wing, and to the right point it goes to Freddie Olesen. Left side moving to the net now is Kasparaitis. He doesn't shoot it. Now rips it towards the goal. Deflected off the glove of Facette, and he reaches down and grabs command of it.
There's Boucher and Brown pushing and shoving again. Brownie was right in there looking for the rebound.
Will return. Game tied at 3.
What'll it be?
Burger and fries.
All we got is TDN Light, Cash 5 Combo, Jackpot Sampler, and Instant Treat.
I'll have a Jackpot Sampler.
Okay, then.
Hey, you don't eat them, you play them.
New value price ticket combos. Wherever you buy Pennsylvania lottery tickets. Order yours by number today.
Story, get the world's fastest sport utility vehicle. Introducing the new 245 horsepower Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited.
Here's the answer to our Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse trivia question. Les Binkley in 67-68. And at the time, I believe Bink was 30 years old. He broke into the league either at 30 or 31. That's back in the first expansion.
And where is Patrick Doline?
Good question.
Signed a contract. He is back home in native Quebec. Not been able to come to terms with Patrick Doline. Down to the right side, Glenn Murray. Whistled off back to center ice, and that's where the Penguins take control of it. Looks for an avenue, has it. Wrister from 55. Facette got a blocker up, and the Kings stub it up to center ice. 7:33 to go in the third period. Joseph Snuffle drop pass, and Robitaille trying to ram into the net. He's got it blocked by Yager, the Penguin right winger. Joseph Snuffle reaches in. Marinka makes a nice play to move it to the point, but not out though. Ron Blake to Snuffle, who got hammered and knocked down, gets himself back up. Marinka hit him again. Marinka makes a good effort again to get the puck up ahead. Rozov to the right side. Yager trying to take the puck. You can't. Let's see. Rozov again push it up ahead. Here's Tyler Wright. Nice wrist shot off his set. Here on the rebound goes to Garry Galley. Beaumont takes a push at it and he goes offline. The guy I'm worried about right now is that Ferraro out there. Here's Galley, left point, shooting, deflected. Oh, big stop there by Barrasso. On a deflection of Galley's attempt for the hat trick.
Galley's shots have been low, Mike, along the ice towards the net, and that's a good ingredient if you're going to score some goals or get assists.
He just had a chance to score and was the first man back, too, to make the play to get the puck out of his own end. Galley has had a strong game tonight for the Los Angeles Kings. He is Nordstrom defensively. 6:20 to go in the third period. Time ticking down. 3-3 the score. Darius Kasparaitis of the Penguins. Scooting back into the Kings in. A slant shot deflected. And that one almost took a weird bounce and got in behind for 7. It just trickled wide of the goal. Darius Kasparaitis avoided a check along the boards. Fires it back into the Kings in. They leave it over to the right point. Olis's shot blocked. Johansson with Brown losing his helmet. Brownie to the near side. I think the Brownies work hard enough to have a goal here tonight. Straka digging for. Off the near board. Looking, still nowhere to go. Rambling around. He goes in behind the net. Straka's all over the ice. Turns around, looking to make a play. Blake finally slams into the ice and off his skates. The Penguins still keep it in. Olsen. The Brown in behind the goal. Straka and Brown continue to work. Matthias Nordstrom having trouble with it. And finally is controlled by the Kings. Ian LaPerriere gets it out of danger. Good shift there, though, by Straka, Johansson, and Robbie Brown. Put some good pressure on the Kings. 5:15 to go. This is where the crowd can play a part of it. Here is Yager breaking to the Kings in the slot. Look out, he's got a chance. Fires it. That makes a big save there on Jaromir Jagr. Well, that one had all the markings of possibly being a go-ahead goal there. But a good stop by Fisset, stopping the quick Jaromir Jagr, who darted into that slot area.
And Jagr had just come onto the ice. The Penguins making a line change, and he was fresh, and they were able to get possession in the neutral zone, and away he went. Kings backing in as he came across the slot. Matthias Nordstrom had been out there a long time. He was at the end of his shift, and Jagr had just jumped on.
See Morozov right there near the edge of the crease. Yep. You'll look at it again. He got himself. That's where a good, smart hockey player will go, to get himself in position.
You know, people say, well, I don't know how good he is in traffic. Well, one of the things that I heard about Morozov from day one was that he was good at keeping his stick on the ice and actually maneuvering the puck in traffic, maintaining possession of it, and kind of being able to hold players off. He does stand upright. He keeps his head up when he handles the puck, but he's able to keep the stick on the ice and maneuver it around close near his feet.
Kings Robitaille plays that one all the way to the Penguin goal line. It'll be an icing call against the Kings. And as that happens, we will take a timeout. The Penguins 3, the Kings 3, right here on Fox Sports Net.
Surge. It's a fully loaded citrus soda with carbos. Feed the rush.
Now, following the game, we'll have all the news on the Major League Baseball playoff games. Garnett breaks the bank. And, of course, the puck drops on the NHL season, as you all know. And you can get caught up on what's going on around the league on Fox Sports News immediately following the game, which has been a good hockey game. This third period has been interesting to watch, kind of a chess match right now. Teams very careful not to take penalties, give the other team an advantage. 4:55 to go in the third.
Oh. We were talking about Jaromir Jagr, .53 goals per game in his career. Lemieux has the National Hockey League record, 8.823 per game. Over the last 3 years, though, Jagr has scored at .73. That's not far from the big man. .73 goals per game in his career. Jagr the last 3 seasons. I don't know if he can ever score enough goals. Well, to catch Lemieux's percentage. There's Jagr bursting in, trying to get on one leg, and he backhands it towards the net, and it's stopped by Fisset. But Jagr, as we have seen him do time and time again in his career, goes all out in the third period, and he becomes just a complete possessed player to win a hockey game for you when you get to the third period.
There's a turnover at the Penguins blue line by the Kings, and Jagr went the other way. Good play by Blake, and then Fisset read the play real well to make a save.
Blake now wristing one, and it's denied, and then between the circles by Hatcher, who will tap it back to the Kings zone. Penguins make a line change, so do the Kings. 4:07 to go in regulation. And Greg Johnson burning back into the Kings' head. Dancing with it to the right side. Breaks on, looks for a trailer. Has Olsen right point, shoots it. Hit the leg of one of the Kings. The Karaman around the net. The Kings reach in. And they clean up their own end very nicely and get the puck out of their own zone. Both clubs have played pretty well in moving the puck out of their own end from around the net in dangerous situations. And the special teams really have been where the teams have converted. The Kings have 3 goals on the power play. The Penguins have 2.
Well, Robert Deme, starting in this game tonight as an 18-year-old, drafted by the Penguins in the first round this summer. He went to work up at that training camp or that camp in Brainerd, Minnesota. Came back with a lot less body fat and a lot less weight on his body, and he has earned the opportunity to play. Kevin Constantine saying today that Deme worked so hard, his work ethic was so strong that he's basically in the lineup for that reason. He's rewarding him for all the hard work.
Deme, an 18-year-old. On the other side of the ledger, the Kings' Olli Jokinen is only 18. As he plays in his first National Hockey League game.
Kings turned the puck over at the Penguin blue line again on their last rush up ice, and again the Penguins were able to come back and make something happen offensively. They've got to be careful there.
Beaupont on with Ferraro. And Craig Johnson for the Los Angeles Kings. Offensively, this is Beaupont, who has good size, but he lost the puck. Kings had a big player here last year we saw, Sean McKenna, who played in 1 game at the Civic Arena. He just missed making the club this year. He's 6'7". Brown with the biscuit. Right side. Olsen's open. Slap shot. Good save by Fisset. And the Penguins denied the chance to go ahead. There was Robbie Brown again, putting it right on the platter for Freddie Olsen.
And the pass he made in the neutral zone is what started the play into the offensive end. Robbie Brown with another great saucer pass. He makes those beautiful backhanded passes through center ice. This is the pass to Olsen. You saw him kind of address the puck there, get himself in position to get a good shot off, and Fisset was able to see it all the way. Watch here at center ice, the pass by Robbie Brown. Gets the puck on the backhand, little saucer pass, lifted up, lands right there, and away they go into the offensive zone. And then it was Brownie. He got in there and made the play out to Freddie Olsen. Johansson working hard. There's Brown right there again. And he gets the puck, he finds the open man, and he puts it there with those nice soft passes, backhand, forehand. Tremendous skills.
Wonder where he learned that from. Guy upstairs watching the game. The greatest passer, I think, ever in the history of the game. Mario Lemieux. Slager to the left side, up to Tamer. Wristed right to the net. And that puck stopped again by Fisset. The Penguins starting to add to their shot totals now. They've got the momentum, I think, here the last few minutes in this contest with 3:02 left in regulation.
And we asked the question during the end of the second period there, how will the Penguins do in the third period? Will they get stronger as the game goes on? And they have done that here in the third.
There's Lemieux taking in tonight's game. He was on an appearance yesterday or last night. His new book that's out.
I'll tell you, Mike, he's a happy guy right now. He's really relaxed and he's comfortable with his decision. And I'm sure watching, there are moments that he'd think that'd be fun to be playing again, but then I think overall he's happy. He's decided to do what he's done. I really believe that.
Berg off the leg of one of the Penguins, and the puck deflects into the far corner. Tamer tried to swing it around. He couldn't do it. Gets a second crack at it. That's good persistence by Tamer to help get the puck out of his own end. Under 2.5 to go in regulation. 3-3 the score. The Penguins and the Kings. Gary Balk of the Penguins. Up in the air. That's going to be knocked down by the Kings. Good pass ahead. Bill Murray behind the defense trying to shoot it. Does, and it comes off the mask of goaltender Tom Barrasso, it appeared. Murray got that puck up, but he caught Barrasso in the mask. Kings threaten. They go left side. Galley tries for the hat-trick stop. Rebound. Loose puck underneath Barrasso, who scrambles and keeps the puck out of the net. So the Kings have a big chance to take the lead, and they fail to do so.
Again, Garry Galley moving in from that defensive position, top of the circle. He has really found that little hole, and he's jumped into that hole quite a few times here tonight and gotten good shots up. And he gets them on the net down low where they really cause a lot of problems. Watch where Galley is. He just arrives right in that spot, gets the pass, good shot down low, save. And was that Robitaille in there looking for the rebound?
Who else?
Yeah, he scored a lot of goals in that particular way. He's just getting to the loose pucks. There's that lead pass at the blue line. Hatcher got a piece of Murray. That was a good shot by Glenn Murray. He kind of moved to his left and tried to go upstairs to the right corner, and it hit Barrasso in the mask. Glenn Murray had a good training camp. He scored 1 goal for the Kings. Remember last year he was Mr. September for the Penguins. He led their team in scoring in the preseason last year, and it just didn't click for him once the season started.
I'm not so sure it caught Tommy's mask as I look at it again. Yeah. He's had 2 good chances against Barrasso tonight. Stopped him on both. Right point, a shot deflected. There's Eddie Olczyk. Slowly moving puck goes into the Kings in. Rob Blake with less than 2 minutes to go in the 3rd period.
Galley really chopped Yager as Yager tried to bust around him down that right wing away from the puck.
Robitaille stops around to the far corner. And Olczyk. 2 years ago, these 2 teams played to overtime, and the Kings won in Pittsburgh. And the goal by Yannick Perreault. Remember back that far. I think it was 4-3 was the final score. I think it was. Robitaille, 1:18 left here in regulation. Still time left here. Right side, look out, a hard shot. Ooh, boy, that just missed. Nordstrom slipping back around behind the Penguin net. Hatcher trying to turn one of the Kings at Stumple, and he's been tough to move tonight. Joseph Stumple still dragging hard on that puck and keeping possession on the right side of Boucher. Boucher couldn't keep it in. We've got less than a minute to go in the 3rd period here at regulation time.
There's an example, Mike, of how strong Stumple is on the puck. Your players talk about that. He really is, and he was really battling there on the boards with Hatcher all over him.
Ferraro behind the net. Kings jam in. Sandy Moser over to Ferraro. Look out, got a man in front right there. And Barrasso stops the play before the Kings can get to that loose puck. So it's the Kings now coming strong here. Craig Johnson with a chance in front of the net, but he never got the puck. See him standing right there. He wanted that puck right at that moment. Barrasso cut it off with a hand and stopped it.
Both Johansson and Kasparaitis were trying to break up the centering pass. Unfortunately, it came into an area where Barrasso could get a hold of it.
Well, this is interesting to see the players that Kevin Constantine sends out here now. He'll send out Francis with Tyler Wright and Gary Balk. Now, usually in this situation, you'd send out your top 3 defensive players. You want to have 2 centers out there. Look at it, would probably classify these guys as his best defensive players that he can have at the moment with a face-off in his own end.
And it's still a trial and error type situation for him. He's going to learn about which players can handle it during the course of the first 30 games of the year. Constantine has talked a lot about the fact that this is a process in the making here. And it's not something you're just going to be able to learn in 2 weeks. It's going to take a couple of months before he knows his personnel.
Ferraro on the draw cleanly. Look out here. Rob Blake to the net, and Barrasso reaching with his right hand to pull it in. Oh, that's a big face-off win by the Kings, and a clean one too. Ferraro is very tough. Ferraro and Francis played together, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
In Hartford, yes they did.
Good face-off win. It took a second for Blake to get control of the puck, and then he wristed it. Look at that traffic around the net. That's Ferraro going to the cage there. He gave Ron Francis all he could handle on that shift. There he is again.
2 guys who know each other quite well, and the Kings again win the draw. Rob Blake, 27 seconds to go. Put it in front of the net. Francis chops it away off the near boards, and after Tyler Wright, the Kings get back though and move it off the wood. That's Gary Galley. His presence has been everywhere on the ice here tonight. Number 3, Gary Galley of the Kings. They tie it up on the boards. We get a face-off. This one appears that we'll be headed to overtime, but we still have a few seconds to get out of the way.
Well, Ray Ferraro knows what Ron Francis does probably as well as anybody on the draws, and he won 2 face-offs cleanly there. Rob Blake carried the puck in deep, but he had nowhere to go with it. He came in, he had no help around the net, and the Penguins ended up breaking up the play. Good work by Ray Ferraro.
We'll keep you informed. 14.3 seconds. 14.3 seconds left. Craig Johnson on board now with Gary Balk and Alex Hicks. drop that puck, and Kevin Hatcher comes away with it. Bounce it in quickly. 8 seconds to go in the third period. Penguins looking for one quick shot here. They're not going to get it. Down to 2 seconds, and we're going to overtime. We will go to OT. So neither club able to score in the third period. And we'll return with overtime, the first overtime of this young season, in just a moment.
So you call yourselves the stars of hockey?
That's right.
Let me get this straight. When somebody gets checked really hard, you guys pop up and circle around their helmets.
Yeah, sounds easy, but sometimes we have to run out there 30, 40 times a game. Take a look at the monitor. Boom! See that? We were in perfect formation. We had to run around that guy for 15 minutes.
The Pens are back and headed down south to battle the all-new Hurricane. He shoots and scores. Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. Be glad you're just watching. It's a fall brawl on college football Saturday. Last year, Arizona State shocked Washington in a high-scoring shootout that paved their road to the Roses.
Now let the joy reign here in Tempe.
This season, the road goes to Seattle, where sophomore sensation Brock Ewert has his team of Huskies pointed towards Pasadena.
Touchdown, Huskies!
Arizona State, Washington, following Army-Tulane, Saturday at 3:30 on Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
What happens when you move soccer indoors? You get the CISL. It's louder, faster, and wilder than any ride you've ever been on. The Continental Indoor Soccer League gives you more contact, more goals, more action than you've ever seen from any sport. And there's no tilt. The Continental Indoor Soccer League. It's soccer with an attitude.
It's playoff time in the CISL. Catch semifinal action Sunday at 2.
Penguin crowd. We did not have an announcement as to the crowd and what we had here in the building tonight. But going to overtime, this is the first overtime, obviously, for either club. The Kings last year did not win a game in overtime. 0-3-11. And the Pittsburgh Penguins were 1-4-8. Yep, only won one game. Two clubs played in 95. Los Angeles, Yannick Perreault scored the game winner in overtime, and the final there was 3-2. 3-2 was the final.
Well, Jaromir Jagr still looking for his first. Should be a good time to get it.
14,879. That's the attendance tonight. He must have gone to that food line 300 times. He had it so much in the background. Time and time again to have somebody here to center ice. Robitaille.
Good food, too.
Barrasso will stop the puck. So the teams end up tied in 60 minutes of play. The Penguins outshot the Kings 13-12 in the third period. The game total so far 28 apiece. This game can't be more even, I mean, from every stat you have on the board, with the exception of one power play goal more that the Kings have than the Penguins.
Morozov comes off. Ron Francis went over to the bench for a moment, and he came back out. And Morozov was then called off the ice, and Straka was sent on here. So now you've got a couple of guys who can take the draw. I think Ronnie wanted Straka to take the face-off here in his own zone.
And he will. So Morozov and Constantine not putting the pressure on the youngster to handle that. He wouldn't anyway. His normal position is not center. Although, again, as we talk about, the European players, and particularly the Russian players, play all three positions. I mean, they are so skilled for the most part. Robitaille banging away in his own end. Jagr trying to overpower him. Jagr almost near 230 pounds now. He's at 228 entering this season. He is a moose. Straka to Jagr, and he just missed, winning the game there for the Penguins. That might just come off the heel of his stick. Straka in battling. Straka reunited with his good friend Jagr, and Jagr played to the corner. Galley goes in against Francis. Francis turning around. The puck goes behind the net. Now the crowd into it. But the Kings have the biscuit. Joseph Stumpel. Stepping up to the Penguins and a little drop pass to Luc Robitaille. Robitaille around to the right side. Quick shot there by LaPerriere. That was off the side of the Penguin net. Wawrinka. 3:38 to go in the overtime. Game tied at 3, and Wawrinka plays it off the glass. This might be icing. The Kings go after it. It will not be. They play it over the glass. We will get a face-off here to the left of the Kings' goal. It was a pretty play, actually, by Wawrinka. I thought it was going to go far enough for icing, but it died.
Just got it up off the glass, and that's why it did die. And if you fire it off the boards, you just got to dump it off the glass to get it up ice.
Larry Murphy was a master at handling the puck like that. Just making sure that it went far enough not to be icy. It's an art. Greg Johnson staring in against Yannick Perreault. Johnson trying to skate around him, put it around the net. It comes off the stick of the set. And the Kings have the puck, and they whistle it off the sideboards back to the Penguins into the ice surface. Freddie Olsen snap it over to Darius Kasparaitis to Olsen. Misplayed the puck, and it comes to Jokinen. Shoot it towards the net. That actually was offline. Barrasso poke checked it away. Andreas Johansson on for the Penguins with 3 minutes to go now in the overtime. And the Penguins and Kings tied at 3. A big collision in the Penguins end. The puck sails through to center circle. That's where the Kings' Philippe Boucher, number 28, plays it right up into the air and around the Penguin net. This is game 1 for both these clubs. Starting time tonight of just a little after 7. That'll be the starting time this season for the Penguins. They're at home. Hatcher going back. He has a 2-goal night. Ferraro quickly with those wheels. Comes after it off Hatcher's stick. Left side to Craig Johnson. Johnson shoots it. It's wide of the stick of Tom Barrasso. O'Donnell holds it in down the wing. Tom Wright makes a good effort there to skate it out of danger. Poke checked off his stick and right back into the zone.
Tough sled in the neutral zone for both of these teams at times.
Blake trying to get to the puck first. Did he? Yes, he did. Icing called against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Both teams have protected that center ice area really well. They really haven't been able to get much flow going through center ice. It was an icing call as Rob Blake used that long reach to get to the puck.
As I said, the Kings will play tomorrow night at Boston against the Bruins. Penguins' next game will be at Greensboro, North Carolina on Friday night. Our broadcast time is 7:30 on that game. Hartford used to have the 7 o'clock starts, but I think the 7:30 starts in Greensboro. We'll check that with our ace crew in the truck, which knows everything.
Kevin Constantine sent Yager onto the ice here, Mike. The big 5 on for the Kings right now. Their top line and their top defense pair.
Squirts free. Yager trying to move it in behind the net, and he does. To Darius Kasparaitis. 1:48 left, and here it comes on to center. So the Kings backpedaling with it. Rob Blake worked it up through, back into the Penguins, into the ice. Olsen just trying to move it out. Robitaille has a man open on the left side. Stuffle and around Straka, centering back. Good play by Francis Barita. He gets it out of danger. We're a minute and a half to go in the overtime. Stopping. Yager. The Penguins now try and make a change here. Olchek comes out with Robbie Brown. Matthias Nordstrom skating through traffic. Has a little avenue. Olli Jokinen can't come up with it.
How many turnovers are we seeing here just in the last minute and a half here in overtime in the neutral zone? Neither team able to really get any flow going through center ice.
This time the Kings will be called for icing with 49.9 seconds left. Now, you would think Francis may come out to handle this face-off if that is how Constantine reads it, or he would keep the same line out here and hope for a big play. But probably a little bit too much time to make that critical judgment. You want to keep that line as much as possible, maybe to play him on the last shift of this overtime, should you go that far.
You know one thing, Larry Robinson wants to get his top defenseman out there right now. I just sent him out.
Timeout called by the Kings. And this will allow Constantine to think also as to what he wants to do on this face-off, because it's very important. I mean, you can win a hockey game here if you can control the draw and get the right people out. Make it happen. Could possibly do that.
Actually, the Penguins are saying, at least it was announced, that the Penguins called the timeout.
Now, he could be in a position where he wants to take the timeout to be able to put the whole Francis line out.
I think that might be the case. We'll see if he makes the change. He's got Johnson, Brown, and Olczyk on the ice right now. And Garry Volk, so one of those guys has to.
He's bringing Straka out here.
He's probably going to go with Straka, Yager, and Francis. Is that what he's doing?
Well, Francis remained on the bench. Yager takes a skate. Well, let's just wait till he puts who he wants on the ice, and then we'll tell you who that is.
And that's exactly what I said. Straka, Yager, and Francis. The #1 line. Kings don't get the last change. They've got to send back a player. Greg Johnson was on there. What's he doing now? Is he staying out? Yeah, he is. So they got to go with what they got. Now, they do have who's on the ice for defensively? They sent Rob Blake out before the timeout. He's out there now.
Now Blake and Galley as their defensemen. 49.9 seconds left. Say looks on here as Hatcher will take the right side of defense. Warinka on the left. The face-off won by the Kings. Yannick Perreault comes up with it. The Kings wheel that puck back to the Penguin line. Yager reaches in. He got a piece of it. Now Francis turned around. They'll leave it for Kevin Hatcher, who has been on the board twice for the Penguins. Going to the net is Straka. Hatcher has it. He shoots it, but it's blocked by the Kings, and it hops back now to the Penguin line. Galley finds an avenue to Mulger. Look out here. Yannick Perreault to Johnson. He couldn't hold that pass. 16 seconds left. And the Penguins reaching in now to the near corner. After it, Marty Straka to Francis. Francis looking for Yager. This one just seconds away from ending, and Yager trying to get a shot on net. He can't. It's going to end in a tie. And here will be Kasparaitis to touch the puck, but it's too late to get any icing call, and this one goes in the books as a tie.
And each team registered one shot in the overtime.
And the totals were 29-29.
And I bet they turned it over each at least 12 times in the neutral zone in the overtime. It was tough.
Well, tonight's Dodge player of the game, and we give it to Gary Galley of the Los Angeles Kings with a pair of goals and an assist. He was instrumental on the power play for the Kings and led their comeback. They were down 2-0. So Galley is our Dodge player of the game. Next game for the Penguins will be on Friday night. Fox Sports News is coming up next. For Paul Steigerwald, Mike Lang saying thanks for being with us. Final again, the Penguins 3 and the Kings 3.